What? Why you?
Be bumping. What up? What up? What up? Salute everybody. This is Sixth Element of Hip Hop. I am Reno Noir, your host, and this is your co-host, my co-host Stu Dog.
What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? Salute
Big
to
homie.
everybody in tribe and chat. Salute to everybody in the world.
Salute. So man. We just wanted to we got all kinds of things to talk about, but Diamond Onyx, what's good? Let me go tap in with a yes, go smash that like, and
That's like,
join us, man. And
subscribe, share, do all those good things.
all
Give it a
that good
thumbs
stuff.
up. If you blew around, if you true around here, stay blue around here and give it a thumbs up. Give it a like. You know
Early.
what I mean?
And
Early.
we rocking on Instagram as well. Check us out. I'm on _element_comics. And Stu Dog, you are under Infinity Man with an E. Infinity Man.
Yes, sir. Infinity, man. Yeah,
That's right.
man.
That's
You
right.
know how it is. Had to put a spin on it. Had to put a spin on it.
Gotta put some flavor on it. Shout out to Cooks24 in the building. He's in the chat
Cooks,
today. Couldn't make it. Couldn't come hang out with us on the screen. He gonna hold it down from the chat. And
Cooks,
of
what's
course,
up?
so yeah, man, we had a crazy weekend. It was Halloween, and some shit went down. Some shit went
Yeah,
down in the hood,
in the town,
in
yes,
the
sir.
town. You know what I mean? Like
Yes,
like
sir. Yes, sir.
so a lot of y'all might know the movie Paid in Full, which starred, Mekhi Phifer, Wood Harris, and Cameron. And right here on the left of this image that I just threw up where it says game over, that's Azie Faison. He was played by Wood Harris in that movie. He wrote the movie. It was originally named Trapped. And Mekhi Phifer played the homie Rich Porter, and Cameron played Alpo Martinez, who I'm sure, unless you've been living under a rock, you have heard and seen on all platforms that he was shot and killed, hit in a drive-by Saturday morning, evening, night, whatever, 3:20 a.m. Saturday, technically Sunday morning, outside of a after night spot, and just not being real smart. But so Azie Faison, he wrote the story about him and Rich Porter and Alpo. Alpo is famous or notorious, I guess you could say, for uh killing Rich Porter and many others, and then ending up snitching on several people to save himself from the death penalty. But his fate ended up looking a little something like this Saturday night. And you can see that the truck is real high up, and the shots right there in that tight little grouping right there going through the window there. And they said a car pulled up next to him and just dumped out the window, kind of like how they killed Biggie. We talking about this because this is a big thing in hip hop culture, and this is hip hop and comics, and we cover all aspects. Shout out to Slade Wilson in the building. Yeah, Paid in Full is definitely that joint. Was definitely better than State Property. Dame Dash has something to do with it, and Cameron and all of them. But a lot of people didn't know that it was a true story that was written by Azie Faison about him, Rich Porter, and Alpo. And Alpo, uh, this cat right here. Let me toss y'all an image. So that was Alpo back in the 80s. And then this was him and Rich Porter. That's AZ right there on the left, Rich Porter on the right. This is AZ now. You see the scar on his head. He was
Because
kidnapped,
he
not
shot a few
kidnapped.
times.
He was
What
shot.
he
Yeah,
shot up?
nine.
He got shot up. Everything. Yeah.
Yeah, they robbed him, shot him up 9 times, took one in the head. And then this is Mekhi Phifer right there playing Rich Porter, the guy on the right in the red. That's Mekhi right here. You probably seen, you remember from the movie. And then you had, and he was playing this guy here. That's Rich Porter. And by all accounts, and people that was around in the streets and everything in New York and Harlem back then, Rich Porter was a good dude. He was a good guy. Like, people liked him. He wasn't grimy. He was never shady. He was always made sure everybody around him ate. And him and FaZe and AZ as well. They were both well respected and loved. And Alpo, played by Cameron. Here's Cameron playing Alpo in the movie, paid in full. This guy here was more of a, I don't want to say a bad guy. I mean, nobody thinks that a bad guy, but he's even admitted that he was the the one that they wanted to
He was
you
the
know
Nino Brown.
he
He was
was
the
the he
Nino
was
Brown.
yeah, or the Scarface, or the one that they wanted to point their finger
Yeah.
and say, look, that's the bad guy.
Right.
So my scan going on here. Oh shoot. Well, that's not gonna work. Okay. So yeah, so he basically he shot Rich Porter, which they was homies. The three of them, the three of them you see right here. This is the real story behind Paid in Full. It was called Game Over. It was a DVD that came out, and in the hood, it was heavily circulated. You see Alpo on the far left, Rich Porter in the middle, and AZ on the right with the bucket hat, fisherman hat. And they wasn't like the same crew always running together, but they each had a crew. But they all were friends at one point. They all kicked it, and then they each had their own little, operations that they did. And the guy over here with the fisherman hat, AZ, was the one got to connect with Lulu, the Poppy, the Puerto Rican, the connect that was bringing in all the hunted birds and all of that stuff. And he was supplying everybody in the hood, making sure everybody ate. AZ was just a really good dude, in my opinion. I've seen a lot of interviews and stuff, and people that I know that have actually known them and was around, in Harlem at the time I've talked to today and stuff like that. Said he's a great guy, like a really good dude. This guy here, and you can check him. He's a lot of interviews and stuff on YouTube. You can see him with Vlad on Vlad TV. Talking about the story and all of that. But a lot of people was unhappy with Alpo for what he did. You know what I'm saying, to Rich. And because they was all cool and they was all friends. And according to Alpo, he said that Rich lied to him about a connect, that he said that Rich was selling him weight from his own connect that he went around his back to get to, and taxing him on the weight. And Alpo felt he should have been giving him a better price since it was his man and all of that. And basically, he felt like he gave him an opportunity to tell him the truth, and he didn't. And he gave him another opportunity, and he didn't. And he said he brought his little mans with him, and they scooped Rich up and gave him another opportunity. He said when he lied, he just gave the signal to his little man, and then they shot him and dumped him off in the woods. But it's a sad story because not only was that ill, but in the movie, of course, in the movie you see that they made it out to be that Alpo shot Rich because he was robbing him for them bricks that he had to pay off the kidnappers who kidnapped his little nephew. Now that really did happen. Rich Porter's nephew, Demetrius, I think was his name, or Demarius. He was 12 years old at the time, not in the game, just an innocent kid. And Rich's uncle kidnapped him, had him kidnapped, and they was trying to extort Rich for 500,000. Rich didn't want to pay it, didn't have it, in cash at the time, or just didn't want to put it together, figured he could call their bluff, and then, but the uncle was there the whole time. He was in the house. So everything they did, the uncle was tipping off the kidnappers. So they knew. And when they said, they told him to go to McDonald's, they had a package for him in the McDonald's on 125th or 142nd. I don't know, that McDonald's there in Harlem. He told him to go in the bathroom and there was a package for him. So they sent a guy up there, The guy was scared to go in. He didn't go in. Came back, told him he didn't see nothing. They said, "Yo, wasn't nothing in the bathroom." They were like, "Go back." So he sent another guy back. The guy went in there, came back with
Said
like a
Donald.
coffee can.
Donald was the kid's name.
Donald, really? You sure?
Yeah, Donald. Donald. The what? The Rashi
Donald
head.
Porter?
Donald was the kid's. No, I said Rashi head said Donald was the kid's name.
Nah,
Or the
I
Rashi
think it
head.
was.
I
I
don't know.
think it was I think it was Demetrius. But
Demetrius.
I have been watching BMF lately, so I
Yeah, so you were up on it.
could be thinking about
You were up
Demetrius.
on it. You've been watching. Yeah, I watched the interview with Az on Vlad, and he talked about a lot, man. He dug into it real kind.
Mhm.
It's a real interesting interview to watch. They got it, pieced off, but then you can watch the whole. I watched the whole hour and some change interview. It's almost 2 hours,
Yeah,
and
Donnell. That was his name, Donnell.
yeah,
Yeah.
Donnell, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, the Rashid had said Donnell
Oh,
was
you
the
said
kid's name.
Donald.
No, no, right. The
His name
Raisin head
Donald.
said Donald was the kid. Donald was the kid's name.
Donnell. Yeah, Donnell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Donnell. Yeah. Shout out to the Raisin
Yeah.
head for that one. Yeah,
Mhm.
shout out to Raising Head for that. There's there when you watch the interview with AZ and he's talking to Vlad, he told Vlad, like, he kept it a buck, man. He just said when he said when it all went down, basically by the time he had got caught, um, he had killed like what, 14 people or something like that. Like he said it was a lot, man. He said, and
Yeah.
to keep himself from getting the electric chair or the death penalty. He was saying that he told, but he had a good point though that make you think because he said, look, the stuff they was doing and the stuff that went down, he was like, you know, he might have been working for the feds or something like that because he said, you don't just get away with the stuff they got away with and it don't turn no heads. And he
Right.
said back then a lot of people was working for the feds, and some
Yeah.
people knew it, some people didn't. And he said, but people that got real big and nothing really happened to them, it was like, but Faison said it was a lot of people working for the feds back then,
Mm-hmm.
on the low, like undercover on the low.
Yep.
And some of them was, and then he said, he could have been a fed. He said he could have been a fed too. And he said, and they got license to kill because he
Yeah.
said they ran into a couple.
They running
He
around
actually
with
was saying, right. He actually said
but
they
in
ran
the game.
into a guy or something. He said they ran into a guy or something that was like that. That was a fed. They found out later on that he was a fed. And he was running around doing hits and popping people. And he was like, he was trying to keep his cover from being blown. But he
Right.
said that they basically got a badge and a license to kill. And so he was saying he don't know. He was like, even though Rich and Alpo was his boys, he said I could even look at them and say maybe they might have been working for the feds or was feds. I don't know. He said,
At that
but
point, he was getting paranoid. He was like, anybody could be anybody.
right,
He was
yeah,
bugging at that point because people started getting killed and you know the feds, because when they sent Donnell's finger, what they sent to the McDonald's was Donnell's finger. That's
finger,
what I
right,
was saying. They chopped off his finger, the little boy, and with a cassette tape of him basically screaming, begging for his life, and put it in like a brown bag or a coffee can or whatever, and they got it back. So when they got it, uh the kidnappers were supposed to call back, but as soon as that coffee can came in with the tape, Donnell's mom heard that and just bust out the house and ran straight to the police. And they had the feds came in, and so the feds were in the house, and the kidnappers were supposed to call back, and but they didn't because the uncle was in the house and he knew that the cops were there, and he was tipping them off saying, okay, well, don't call, the cops are here. And based on that, that's probably when they killed him. But yeah, the Raisin Head shout out. Yeah, he said they gave Rich Porter $100K to help get his brother Donnell back. And yeah, Alpo did. He tried to help, and a lot of people tried to help. Fritz the Boss, like Fritz, who you probably heard about in certain songs and stuff, who was a big time dude in Harlem, was Rich Porter's connect at one point, and he came, brought like something like 20 birds and 20 kilos of coke and dropped it off and was like, here,
yeah, dropped, yeah,
to get your brother
yeah,
back. And Rich still didn't do it. and but the feds was involved the whole time, and they knew what was going on. And at one point, they sent, I think it was Rich Porter's like little sister dressed as a boy to go to a payphone and call the kidnappers. It's Diamond Onyx with the wow again. All right. Uh, Cook said, "Did you know that Mekhi Phifer wrote the Mitch death scene movie fact? He said he wanted to show the ugly side of the story. He wrote the whole segment, even the car scene. Yeah, I mean that's definitely possible because that's not how it happened at all. In fact, Alpo eventually told, yeah, Pat Porter, the sister. So
Yeah,
Alpo
Pat
eventually
Porter's sister.
told,
Yeah.
he told an interview, he told exactly what went down.
Yo,
Antoine, what's good,
Antoine,
brother?
what's up? Antoine, what's good, bro?
Word. And he told her, he was like, they took him in the van, the interviewer, and they rode to the spot where he picked Rich up, and they rode to the spot where he shot him, and rode to the spot where he dumped the body. And the whole time he was, telling the story. He was like, Rich got in the van in the passenger side. I was driving. He said my little man's Gary was in the back seat with the 357, and they was riding. Yo, shout out Mario Valley or Vale was good, Malo. But yeah, they was riding. And he asked Rich, he was like, "Yo, that coke you got was good, man. Like, where'd you get it?" Hoping that he would tell the truth, apparently. And Rich was like, "Oh, from my connect or whatever." And he just looked in the back mirror, through the mirror, and gave his man the signal. And he just shot Rich a couple times. They drove to a spot way out in like Orchard Beach, in the woods, and he said he tried to take him out the van. Had Gary tried to take him out the van, but he was too heavy. Az had to, sorry, Alpo had to get out and help him carry Rich into the woods. And but it was crazy because that's the story he told, and based by that story, there was no physical altercation between him and Rich. And that's
No,
his account of the
that's it.
story over that. But in the movie, they made it that he was ripping Rich off basically. And in the movie, he got scratched up when Rich came at him. And AZ said that when he saw Alpo later that night, his face was scratched up. And it looked like it was still like fresh scratches, still bleeding, still, bloody joints. And he made an excuse. It was him and his girl or whatever. But if Alpo's story of account of how it went down and why it went down and all of that was true, there was no, Rich didn't never scratch his face or nothing. So, but
Mm,
it's different.
that's
It's
that's
different accounts.
yeah, that's a good. I mean, yeah, it's always gonna be different accounts, and it's always gonna be, my story versus your story, or he did it versus who didn't. But in
Right.
the end, we know that it was some foul play that went on, and what they say, crews fell apart, man, like New Jack City. You start off good, and then it just ends bad, man. It just
It's
yeah,
what like,
man.
what did 50 Cent say about money and people?
Oh, he said, oh, that's my Montclair. He said
Word.
anybody. He said anybody that says money don't change them, you just ain't make enough.
You ain't making enough yet.
I believe
So
that.
when yeah,
I believe that.
all that money's
Yeah.
involved, friends become envious and all of that. But so you notice here the grouping of the shots is very, very close and tight. Like this guy that shot him definitely was not worried about shooting in public. He was definitely comfortable under pressure and was able to ride up next to this truck apparently, which you see how tall that truck is. It's raised at least a foot off the normal height.
Yeah, it's raised
And
real high. Yeah.
yeah, and they said that the car drove up next to it in a car, like a sedan, drove up next to it, and the guy didn't get out the car, just reached his arm out the window and shot. But these bullet
'Cause look
holes,
at
they
that's a
look
tight
like
grouping right there. That's a real
tight
tight grouping.
grouping.
Yeah,
And
somebody, yeah, whoever shot that, they know how to shoot.
right, and if you in a car next to that truck, you got your hand like he had to been, like way up here shooting and all of that, and then to do that and so it's speculation that because look, it's karma. This guy definitely wasted a lot of people, snitched on a lot of people. It's been people hunting this dude, like Antoine said, since the early '90s, and then he's
Because
just
he was
out here.
locked up. Now
Yeah,
remember, he was locked up too, and
he was locked up, snitching and shit.
I think what happened was he went back to Harlem. He might have been a witness protection. You
Well,
know
he
what I mean?
was
That's why
for a
nobody
while,
could find him.
but he
Yeah,
left
nobody
with
could find him. Yeah, I would
Left
have
with
never
Tech.
went
He
back
was
to Harlem. Yeah,
or he's out here walking around at 3 a.m. in the morning at an after hours joint thinking shit is sweet. Come
yeah,
on, bro.
man. Some people long for those days, man. At one point in time, you got to remember he was famous, bro. He was hood
Exactly
famous,
what I think.
and then you know what I mean. I think he might have just been longing for that. He might have just been
He
like,
wanted that back.
I
Yeah.
need
He
I need
wanted to
that
get back
hood
in the
I
game and
need that hood fame back, right? Yeah, I want to see if everybody still know my name. They still love me. You start with today's social media. You see guys, flossing and flashing, and then you start thinking, oh man, I had all that. I was this, I was that. But man,
especially
everybody got their time.
yeah. And especially them looking at all these rappers and stuff. Like I love the scene. I love the end scene in Paid in Full where they're showing the video shoot and you got the rappers, pretending to basically every rapper since then was emulating Rich Porter and Alpo and AZ. That's who they were. That's who all the rappers are talking about. That's who they really emulating, trying to be, and for Alpo to come out, I guess, and see all these rappers living real large off his life, basically, and he ain't got shit. You want to be back in that life, man, and it is what it is. Yeah, AZ was definitely the smartest out of all three. I think maybe Rich was a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with
Rich
that,
was
Antoine.
mad smart, but
Yeah, I agree with that, Antoine.
yeah, for sure. Rich was smart, but he loved that life too. He wanted to be a star. He loved that hood star status. But it's like Ghostface and them said, the crack game came and had its years. Like the crack game is over, bro. Like it's still people out here hustling. I mean, some of us hustled even into the early 2000s, but
Yeah,
it's
it
just
ain't
not.
worth it,
You're
man.
not
It ain't
making
worth it
that
right
kind of money
now.
like they was, B. Like in the
Yeah,
80s,
yeah.
they're making hundreds of thousands a week
This
and
is
shit like
they making millions. They getting it
now.
in. Wow.
Nowadays you lucky if you make 5-10 grand in a day. They was doing
They was
50,
doing 30,
60 a
40,
day, man.
50
Like
grand, yeah.
nothing.
A night, a day, yeah.
Yeah, that
But
game.
crack had such a grip on society. And a lot of people try to say, it was, like it was black, white, everybody. I mean, listen, everybody was doing crack. I
Yeah.
mean, it had no racial barrier.
Nope.
You know what I mean? It had no social status, nothing, man. Rich, poor, whatever. It was so addictive. Once you got hooked on it, that was a wrap. You was definitely going back.
Turned a lot
You
of
know,
turned a lot of like hustlers and people that was doing it. They turned into straight up cluckers, straight up basers, man.
yeah, yeah. Like when you watch New Jack City, well, what did G Money say? Till death do us part. He hit that pipe. It was a wrap after that, man. He couldn't stop hitting the joint.
Yeah.
You know. But back in the '80s, though, when I talked to like my uncles and all that, and people that was like older than us, that was like in they late 20s or whatever, they was old enough
Yeah,
to go
yeah.
out. They always tell me that back they said that in the '80s and even into the early part of the '90s, it was like drug use was like it was common. It was like
Yeah,
even from the '70s, they said like you would go to a party or a club, you go in the bathroom, everybody be in there getting high. Whether
yeah.
they got some, whether they drinking liquor or
It
they
wasn't
got, they
stigmatized
snorting
yet.
coke. Yeah, they
Yeah,
said it wasn't. Yeah, they said it wasn't nothing. They said, you walk in the bathroom, they smoking weed, they doing coke, and jokers will look at you and be like, "What's up? You want to get down? Because if not, get out." I was like,
right.
"Oh, yeah." My uncle told me that. He said, "Man, look, they be like,
Now,
look,
shout out to Mario Val and Raisin Head, but yeah, meth took over. He said, but powder still sells. Now, I'm not saying that crack still don't sell and that people ain't still on crack and coke and all of that. What I mean by the game that the crack game came and had its years, like the song says, when the war on drugs and the mandatory minimum sentencing and a gram ounce of coke being worth 20 years and an ounce of or ounce of crack, giving you 20 years and an ounce of coke gives you a year or something like that. They changed all the laws. According to AZ, he said there was a point in time where crack wasn't even illegal because when they would test it, it would come back as baking soda. So for like a year, when crack came out, cats were doing that shit with impunity.
yeah,
and the reason you could make all that money. He was like, man, it was crack houses with lines of people, down the block, around the corner, in a line waiting to get they dope or whatever, and cops will ride by. They know what it is, but they just riding by. Nowadays, if they even see you counting change in your hand, they gonna run up. What you doing? It's not. You can't, you can't do. That's what I mean. Like, yeah, the drug is still there, but the ability to sling it the way that them boys was doing, new Beamers, new Mercedes every day and shit, never wearing the same outfit, that kind of money, tossing thousands, like that kind of money, you can't. It's not there anymore. So these kids out here today just killing each other for literally for no reason.
That's facts, yeah. Because Antoine Austin says that. He said, in the '80s, rappers against drugs, and in the '90s, rappers celebrate drugs. Even in the 2000s too. That's true. That's real true. Because, like you said, we had self destruction. We was always crackers. Whack.
Right, right.
Old Dirty had a song, "Don't do drugs." Say no to drugs.
Right.
You
And
know,
then in the 90s, it became rappers rapped about selling drugs. Now rappers
they
rap
rap
about
about
doing drugs.
using
Yeah.
drugs, right? Like, yeah, shout
Like
out to
our rappers
Antoine for
was
that one, man.
dealers, these rappers is
Yeah,
users.
it's users, right? And Antoine's right. They celebrate it. It's like, they rap about drinking lean. You know what I mean? Getting high. Popping pills. The drugs just changed, but it's still drug use, man.
Facts.
Because when we were growing up, we saw a lot of we saw a lot of older people on drugs. We saw what it could do to you. We saw you might have lived in a house where somebody was on drugs,
Yeah.
and and you seen that, and it just affected you in a way where you was like, you know what, that's not for me.
Mhm.
Or you was like, I'm gonna do something better. But then you have kids, and then your kids are watching other people saying, "Oh, well, doing drugs is cool. That's the cool thing to do. You go to a party, we pop some pills, we party all night."
Right.
That's
Yeah,
that's
they
that's
talking
not
about
true.
right. Yeah. I mean, even in our day, like if you was doing pills, that was like on some
Yeah.
real white boy shit. Like, yeah, we don't pills in the hood was not cool. Like
Yeah, that
now,
ain't. Yeah, we don't do that. Yeah, we don't do that.
or
We don't do pills. Yeah, we don't
but
pop. We
now,
might smoke some weed. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Do some one
we
ons. Like
might
when they
one
was
on
talking to
one or
Wu
something.
Tang, right?
Yeah,
The Wu Tang side, they talking about doing one ons.
right.
You know what I mean? But popping pills, nah, we ain't never did that. But it's
That
a
was
thing now, bruh.
that's the thing.
It's the norm. Yeah,
Because
it's the
because
norm.
Lil, you got Lil Wayne is like the godfather of this shit now, and he's a straight up junkie, like straight up lean addict. Admits it, has no shame about it, and that's the thing. It's like
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there's
yeah,
no
that's
because
true.
he's
He
like,
don't.
I drink my shit, and it makes me rap good or whatever the fuck, and that's what he believes. So
Because I read an article one time where they said that before he went to jail in New York, he had to get some dental work done, and he was saying that his teeth were starting to rot out. But he was saying that it was from eating a lot of candy. But the people writing the article was like, "Nah, that's from the drug use that his teeth was rotting." So that's why he got all his teeth capped off to
right.
prevent him from rotting any further, or whatever the case, whatever the case may be. He got it hooked up. So he reported to jail like a week later, based on the fact that he had that was the only time he could get to see his dentist before he got locked
And
up.
when you drink lean, they dissolve, a whole bag of Jolly Ranchers in a bottle of soda. So it's like you drinking pure damn sugar syrup.
Yeah, he threw a couple Jolly Ranchers in there. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
Which I don't understand what the Jolly Ranchers are for. I
it's
never
like
got that.
to flavor it, I guess, they take the Sprite and they shake it up, get the carbonation out. So basically they're making like just a
Syrupy syrup.
sweet drink. Yeah.
Shout out to Antoine Austin. He said, "Old Dirty got drunk, and he was still on point with the lyrics," which is true.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Some
But
people
that syrup. But you know what? That syrup, man. 3 6 made a song. Sipping on some syrup.
syrup,
That was
sipping on
that
some.
was that was that was the joint, bro.
Yeah.
That was my
Yeah.
joint.
Yeah. Shout out to Raising Head. He said, love the Supreme Clientele reference. Salute. Yeah, Supreme Clientele. That's that album.
Yeah, Cook said I know personally. So Cook's been sipping on some scissors, huh?
He said, well, the Jolly Ranchers is for taste. Yeah.
Yo, the Jolly
Right.
Ranchers for taste. Cook said
Yeah.
I know personally.
Yeah.
Cook said he been sipping on some scissors. Scissorping it up.
It drank.
Yeah, his drink.
leaning on the kickstand.
Leaning. Yeah, leaning on the kick, yeah. Doing the Michael Jackson, what's that? The Moonwalker.
Smooth
He
criminal.
leaning like Michael. Yeah, Smooth Criminal. He leaning like
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, the Smooth Criminal. Yeah, he all the way, uh.
But on the serious tip, man, it's that it's like this it's like this song that by AZ called Mob Style. If y'all ain't heard Mob Style, this was a joint back in the day that, you know, I didn't know. Like we were saying, Stu, we didn't know Paid in Full was about them when it
No,
came
I
out.
didn't. I didn't.
And
I'm not even
I didn't
going. I
know
can't
that
even front.
AZ I thought AZ
Yeah,
was a rapper in 1990 when he dropped in 91 when he dropped Mob Style, you know? And
I
it's a
did
eerie.
too.
I love the song back then. I love the beat that the Harold Melvin and the Blue Note sample is crazy. It's a dope track. The lyrics are very 80s style, you know, the way they rap, but it listening to it, knowing the story that he's telling in that shit is all real. He's talking about the little brother getting, you know, murdered and all that. It's an eerie song, man. It's a real eerie song. Shout out Antoine said the 2010s popping pills. I was still in my 30s listening to hip hop. Popping pills is not my thing. Word, I agree. I agree. You know, it wasn't our era. Like our era, we smoked a lot of weed. It was all the songs was about smoking weed or selling drugs. That's what we did.
Or
We sold.
drink really. Whoa, whoa! You got to back up. You drinking 40s, bro. You
Oh
drinking
yeah, yeah,
40.
yeah. Drinking
The
too. Drink
40 ounce.
weed and
You know what I
drinking.
mean?
Word. 40s
Everybody in
and
the
blunts.
chat can agree with me on that, man.
40s
Because
and
remember,
blunts.
Ice Cube. I used
And
to. I
quartz if
think
you
I.
lived in Florida. They didn't
And
sell
you know what's
40.
crazy? You know what's crazy, Rena? I think I still have it. I'm gonna try to find it. I think I still. I hope I do. I used to have a cassette tape with all the Ice Cube commercials on it that he did for St. Ives. Because remember, he was dropping them
Yeah.
St. Ives commercial joints like
Yeah.
it was a new one every week. And
Word.
I
I was
actually had a
surprised to
cassette.
see Rakim do one too. Rakim did that.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
oh,
Rakim did one. A couple of people did them, but Ice Cube made it famous. And I see if I still got the cassette, man. And like it's just full of just Ice Cube doing those commercials. I was like, yo, when I got the tape, I thought it was weird because I was
right.
like, damn, this is. And I just listened to all of them because I wanted to see if there was something I hadn't heard. But that's when Cube was rhyming real dope, man. That's when he was rhyming real dope.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
drank 40s though. We drank 40s and we smoked blunts coming up,
Right.
man. That was our thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
I like,
Yeah. See,
I
now
mean,
Coach
every.
though, he said he had to go to Tennessee to get 40s. We had to go to Georgia if you wanted a 40. Florida didn't have
Are you
40.
serious, man?
Yeah, we had quartz.
40, yeah, 40 of Mickey's, OE, Cobra, yeah,
Word.
hello, yeah,
That's what it
Mario,
was all
yeah,
about.
that Mickey's Ice,
It was 8 ball
yeah,
and eyes. 8 ball and eyes.
eight
Old
ball
English was 8
nine.
ball. Old English 800. That was 8 ball, and
Or
eyes
you
was
can make some kunta, or you can make some kunta, you know what I mean?
that Mad
Get some old
Cobra
English, get
or
some
that
old
Colt
English and some
25 or
Guinness
that
Stout.
Fruit Bowl
Yeah,
shit.
you mix that old English and that Guinness Stout together and make that
Word.
kunta.
Make that
That joint
making
get
Mad
dark.
Dog 2020.
2020,
Cisco
Red
and
Bull, yeah, Schlitz the Blue Bull. Man,
word.
listen, Cisco was bad, man. I
Cisco was
listen. I tell you a crazy story.
terrible.
I drank a 40 of Cisco one night, man.
All that shit
Went to a
liquid crack.
party. I went to a party. I drank a 40 of Cisco one night. I was in high school. Went to a party. Woke up the next morning at my boy house. Don't remember nothing happened at the party.
Yeah.
Don't remember nothing. Don't remember
Many a
nothing.
night.
Couldn't tell
Do
you.
my
Couldn't
shit
tell
on
you.
the crap table many a night.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did too. Yeah, Power Master I never drank, but I heard Power Master had you
Nah, I
jump.
never
That's
drink that.
that. I heard Power Master had people jumping off of buildings. Like I never drank. I never drank. I never drank Power Master, man. But
Yeah.
yeah, I
I didn't
mean,
like Michelob in the dark bottle. That was classic. But yeah, I didn't
yeah,
like
Michelob.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
have I didn't like none of that Mad Dog and none of that Cisco, none of that nasty ass shit.
Nah, you wasn't into
Nah,
that. You wasn't
B
into that.
I beer like OE or some Erkin Jerk, some E&J or some Henny.
That
But
Cook said Michelob in the
some
dark
cheap
bottle. Man, Cooks.
yeah, yeah. That gas station liquor though, them 2020. Ugh.
Yeah,
But
that's
we was kids. I mean, you drank what you
you
could
go
get,
what you could get. Cause
whatever you could
sometimes
get
you
the
would have to
21 or
right.
the older
Sometimes you had
cat.
to send somebody and keep
Yeah.
it a buck, all y'all in the chat. Sometimes you had to send somebody in the store and they came out with the wrong beer.
And
They
whatever
just
they came
grabbed whatever
out
was
with,
in whatever it
damn,
came out with. You had to drink. Yeah, you
fuck,
was like, dang, bro. Yeah.
We used to get a case of quartz like that because they didn't have 40s. We like getting a case of 40s. We get the whole case of
Oh, yeah, I
quartz.
just get the quarter, of course. Yeah, I used
Because
to
the
drink
40,
those too.
yeah, for some
Thug
reason in
Passion.
Florida, 32 ounce was the most they would put in a bottle. They wouldn't.
Yeah. You think it
Yeah,
was state law? Think it was like
it was a
state law or
state. It was
something?
a state law. It was a state law. Yeah, yeah.
Damn,
Even
Cook
to this
said
day,
gin. Cook
Seagram
said
kid.
gin. Gin and
Yeah,
juice.
yeah.
Gin. I wasn't big on gin, man. Nah, I ain't gonna lie.
I
I ain't
love
gonna lie,
Seagram gin. Yeah,
cause I
Seagram
did, yeah, I did like what do
gin
you
was
call
really
it?
the liquor that I could drink a lot. Like gin, like vodka, rum had gave me a
I like the Tanqueray.
nauseous
That's
feeling.
the first. Yeah, Tanqueray was the furthest I could go with gin, and I would
Dang.
mix that with Slurpee. I go to 7-Eleven, give me a Slurpee, throw some Tanqueray in it. Word up, I'm keeping it a buck. Oh yeah,
Yo,
listen, go
shout out
try
to
that.
Lisa Raquel talking about Boone's Farms.
Booms for
Yo, remember Boone's?
woo!
Eh,
Yo, we thought we was doing something drinking some Boone's Farm. Yo,
Strawberry Hill.
Alicia Raquel, Boone's Farm.
Eh,
Yeah, you taking it way back. You
way
taking it
back.
way back with that. Yo, Boone's Farm. I remember when I first had. I think I had apple. First
I
time
remember
I
my
had
moms and them talking about
the
doing
green
drinking.
apple.
Yeah, apple,
Yeah,
fucking
I had the apple
strawberry,
joint.
peach. They
Yeah,
had fuzzy
I had the
navel.
peach. I never had
The
I
strawberry,
had the
that
straw.
was my. Yeah, I
I
had
think
the
I had the
strawberry.
strawberry, but not. I wanted to. I had strawberry, but not peach, because I liked the apple. I always thought the apple was bomb.
Yeah, the
I
apple
always
was mine.
thought that was, especially if it was cold. Well, that was whoo.
Yeah,
Well, let me tell you.
but it was a lightweight thing. It was, Boone's was easy. It was like 16% or something, but that's what kids do, man. Yeah, but that was us. That was our day. And what I'm saying? Now these kids doing
And now these
Adderall,
kids, yeah, they
Xanax,
doing, yeah,
Percocets,
they,
Molly in middle school. You know what I mean? Like young kids.
yeah. I mean, listen, the world has changed, man. Kids don't drink no more. Cause remember, if you look at kids now, they don't drink, bro. They really don't. They smoke and they pop pills, bro. That's what they do. I feel bad for their generation because when they start in about 10 more years, they're gonna be in their 30s. We're gonna see some messed up individuals, man. Pushing into their 40s, and a lot of them are gonna die young because of it. Hate
Because
to
a
say
lot of
it.
these, and a lot of these kids, like the rappers not telling you that lean it's codeine, it's an opiate. It's no different than heroin. You get addicted like a heroin addict. You go through withdrawals and you know what I'm saying? You're a junkie. You're straight up like a heroin junkie on lean,
Yeah,
on Percocets, all of that stuff. Shout out
yeah,
Awaken
Heron,
Queen.
Awakened
Where
Queen. Yeah, what? Shout out Awakened Queen. Somebody said Miller High Life.
he said, what y'all know
Dang.
about Alpo? Yeah, we was talking
Yeah,
about Alpo, man, for a minute. We was talking about
yeah.
Alpo
What
and
y'all know about
Rich
Alpo? Yeah,
Porter.
yeah. Rich Porter,
Yeah,
Alpo. Put it up in the chat. Let us know what you know. And I don't know who talking about Miller High Life, but wasn't that what my man the mayor drank and do the right thing?
hit me your send me your email, Awaken Queen, and I'll send you the link if you want to jump on the show with us right now. But what'd you
Yeah,
say? What'd
yeah.
you say, bro?
Miller High Life. Ain't that what isn't that what the mayor drank and do the right thing? He sent the little boy the story. He said, "Go get me some Miller High Life."
Might have been, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. He said, "Don't." He said, "Don't bring that other stuff back. It tastes like piss water."
Yeah, yeah. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Antoine said yes too. Antoine said yes too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, Miller.
okay, so but she in the car now. She out, but she says she from Harlem. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But yeah, we was just talking about all of them like Rich. I mean, Days B,
It's such a sad story, man. But
Alpo. It's a very
yeah,
sad story.
man. So salute Awakened Queen. Yeah, it's just a sad story, man. And I hate to say it, on no level, you hate to see a brother get shot and killed, but you know, they have a saying that and Muslims have like you read in the Quran a lot. They have a good saying. You read in Hadiths, they say, you're gonna pay for all your sins. You either pay for them in life or you pay for them in death. But either way, you're gonna pay for it all. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
No,
that's. That's
Yeah.
karma, man, coming back. That's just karma coming back, man. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. Live by
Mm-hmm.
the gun, you die by the gun, man. I hate to say it, and I'm not trying to say it in a messed up way or nothing, but
No,
you
it just
know,
is what it is, and like you yeah, First Lady said, his day was coming, you know. And no, I thought you were from Brooklyn for some reason. I didn't know you was from Harlem. I thought you said you lived in Brooklyn, but yeah, his day was coming. You know, a lot of people say that, you know, he had it coming. Not only did he snitch on hella cats, especially dude from DC and all of that, but
yeah,
he got several bodies. You know what I'm saying? So it was always a chance of. I mean, it could have been Rich Porter's people, but it could have been any number of people. Most likely the cat from DC that he snitched on. But again, like you were saying, even like Az was saying, could have been the feds, could have been a conspiracy, could have been, you know, they could have been knocking him off. You never know
yeah.
because
Because we do know for a fact, it is proven that during the '80s, the government, with the Sandinistas and the I forget the other ones that were down there in South America, Reagan approved that program to sell drugs, to make money, to
right,
give weapons to them so that the Russians couldn't back them, and
yeah,
that they felt. I've heard people say that, and drug dealers. I heard big time drug dealers say that they felt that the government thought it was better to sacrifice a whole group of people because of how crack badly ravaged and devastated our communities, you know, than to just deal with it politically and go sit down and talk with Russia and try to get it and iron it out. They
right.
just would just give weapons because you had the Iran Contra scandals and all that where we was backing the Iranians, and that came back to kick us in the butt with Saddam Hussein, all of that. So it's just, they made some decisions back then that spilled over into the community, and that's why we tell people when you go vote, vote for the right people. Be careful who you vote for. Be careful who you don't vote for. But when they say they vote don't matter, that's a lie. That's a lie. Don't believe that. Your
I
vote
think
do
some of those
matter.
people. Oh, yeah, shout out. She said, I heard it was some Bronx cats. Yeah, it could have been. It could have
Could
been
have been.
like Raisin had said, could have been a new beef. Could have had nothing to do with nothing before. I mean, that's possible too, because he was out here in the street 3 in the morning outside of an after hour spot in Harlem. Come on.
But you know
On
how,
Saturday
but come
night.
on, you from the hood. But you know how we do in the hood. And
Right.
this is to the chat. In the chat,
On the
everybody know how we
few.
do in the hood. If you
Right.
got a beef with somebody and it's 10 years, I don't care if it's 20 years, and you got a beef with a joker, you'll be like, yo, I remember, or if somebody snitched on you,
Yeah.
you
You
came to
run up
jail
into
time,
that
you'd be like, yo, or it could have been somebody's cousin. They could have been like, yo, I know that's the joker that killed, he killed my cousin. You know what I mean? Or, because
somewhere
that's
back.
what, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. That's what gang violence is. You know what I mean? It's the same thing the US does, but nobody killed a family member. You know what I mean? You kill somebody family member, they coming back. They're gonna come back
Yeah.
strong and they're gonna get you. You know what I mean?
It
How
could
my man
be
said at the end of Minister Society, he said, "Damn, I didn't think he was that. I didn't think he'd come back shooting.
right,
And he
right,
came back, shot up the whole block. You know what I
right,
mean? And so you got to remember that. That's how we get down in the hood. That's how people get it. They gonna be
right.
like, yo, he shot my cousin Reno. Got him. That's him right there. They might have been following him all night
Years later. Yeah.
and just was able to get him at 3 in the morning.
Right.
You know, or somebody might have called him, be like, yo, such and such is here now. Word, okay, word. They go
Yeah.
strap up, they go get him. Like that's just how it is in the hood, man. It's
And
always been
and
like
and
that. It's always gonna be like that.
and they was gonna give him the chair, the death penalty. They was
Yeah,
telling
but he
Alpo he had the capital, so he, decided to snitch on people to save his life, and he decided to snitch on all the DC cats because remember he went down south and was hustling in DC, and so he turned them in. So and them cats don't fuck around. They'll see you in Harlem. They'll come. So it could have been anybody, but it's very likely
yeah, because
some
that's
new
and that's
shit.
what you call and for yeah for you like Reno and everybody in the chat. That's what you call street justice. You know what I mean? Because you got two types of justice. You got
Right,
the regular American justice and you got street justice. But either way, justice gonna be served. So when you got
right,
American justice, you got a lawyer. He got three names. You know what I mean? You go sit down in court. You know what I mean? He get you convicted. You know what I mean? Or prosecutor. He come get you convicted. Boom. You know what I mean? Or let's say you get off. Like Nino Brown. He got off. Oh, it wasn't me. It was the other dude. He's a real leader of the CMB. He walk out the courtroom, plow, plow, street justice. Those are the morals to those stories. When we saw Time to Kill with Samuel L. Jackson, those guys is getting ready to get off. Samuel ran up in the courthouse, pow, street justice. That's how it goes down. So
Yeah,
either
yeah.
way, justice is going to be served either way. You know what I mean? Whether it's served through the streets or the court system, you're gonna get justice. You don't want street justice. You don't you don't want street justice. But
Nah,
justice
because
is gonna get served.
it can come at any time, from any direction, from anybody you
Right.
know,
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
best
street justice is like
friend.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, it could
Yeah.
come from a
Yeah.
family member. It come,
Yeah.
come while you walking out of a store, while you think you chilling. You know, court justice, Fed justice. You know it's happening. You know it's coming. But thing is, street justice, you don't know when it's coming. Your sentence is always and could be convicted daily. JB said Poe was reportedly throwing baggies of heroin out the passenger side window after being shot. Cops reported seeing it on surveillance and found the baggies. Poe returned to the only life he knew. Where reality is, Razor said, reality is no one knows what decision they'll make when facing life until they are facing life. Corey Adger, salute. Shout out Corey in the building. What's good, man? He said the street always remember.
They
Absolutely,
do.
man. You never, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit it's like a life sentence because you never know when the fucking penalty is gonna be carried out. It could be years, it could be decades down the road.
It could be. Yeah, it could be. You never know, man. Like I said, it's street justice. You know what I mean? It's just that's just what it is. And when you do that, you never know how strong somebody could come back. He might not be strong that night when you got him, and you might have got your man, but you don't know who he know, and you don't know who coming back for you. You know what I
Right.
mean?
And cats, in my hood, you humiliated cat. He might, you might make him piss himself in front of everybody, whoop his ass, slap him in the head, and all of that.
Yeah, it's
He
true.
he go home, run home, and get his pistol. A couple of days
Right?
later,
Come back. Yeah,
remember
and
me,
come back.
motherfucker? Yeah,
Yeah, your family got to put their hard bottoms on. You know what I mean?
word.
So yeah,
Yeah.
shout out to Corey Adger. Shout out to Corey Adger in the building. You know what I mean? Corey Adger, man, what's your favorite beer, sir? What's your favorite beer?
What was you drinking in the 90s?
What was you drinking in the '90s, Corey? What was you drinking in the '90s? But yeah, man,
Yeah, he didn't have
they
his vest on. Alpo
nah,
was out there
nothing,
slipping.
man.
Like
Out there
you
slipping, yeah.
big,
But you know what? You know what, Reno? He probably thought he was still as big as he was. Because back then in the '90s and '80s, nobody wouldn't touch him like that. Nobody would have did that. I mean, they
yeah,
would,
maybe not as
not
yeah.
like that. Not like that. A lot of people were scared of him. So, they just, but now times change. People
Right.
change, blocks change, territories
Oh, yeah, he
change,
been he been he been he
crews
been
change.
he been called a snitch and all of that now. Some people don't even respect him at all now. He was feared back then and he had respect and even love too. But once you start snitching on cats, you know what I'm
Right. It
saying?
changes the game.
And
Yeah.
you
And it
are,
changes your
yeah,
respect level. It changes your
because
respect
then
level on the street.
you go from having the respect on the streets and having the police hating you to having no respect on the streets and the police still hating you. So once
Yeah,
you
that's
snitch,
true.
you got nowhere to turn, nobody to,
That's
you know what I'm
true.
saying?
Yeah,
And
nobody to turn to, nowhere to go. But at the same
nobody.
time, Antoine Austin said it, said like Jay-Z said, streets is watching. And they are, and goes back to what I said. And when they watching, they judge correctly. You got street justice. You
Right.
know, yeah. So it's just, to live that life, man. You gotta know that, you gotta keep your head on the swivel
See, I don't
every
see
day.
Antoine said Alpo was the 80s version of Nicky Barnes. I don't really give Alpo that. Now, AZ might have been, or Rich Porter might have been a Nicky Barnes. AZ might have been a Frank Lucas. You know what I'm saying? But it was still cats even bigger than them, dog. They were teenagers, bro. They were
Yeah,
whipping Europeans that didn't come out for 2 years, and they was 18 and shit. But you still had guys like Fritz, you know what I'm saying, like old heads that was really the kingpins and all of that, like, from the 70s and shit. So,
Yeah.
but you still
Yeah.
had your Nicky Barnes type people, but they were just they were young, they were stars. Bottom line, they were no different than any celebrity today, any rap star,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
no
because I
different.
watched the interview. I watched the interview where Mike Tyson said Mike Tyson was hanging out with Alpo, and Tyson said he was always everywhere we went. Like Tyson said, I got to know him because I always saw him. But Tyson said that I didn't know how big he was. Like I didn't know because Tyson said he said the same thing you said. Tyson said he was a kid. They said
Yeah,
he was a kid. He said, he said, but everywhere I go, this kid, and they were showing pictures of him and Tyson all over the place. He was at one of Tyson's. He was at Tyson's fights,
yep,
everything. And Tyson was like, I would see him all over. Tyson said he was cool. He was a cool little kid. He said I thought he was a kid. Like I just looked at him as being this kid that just hung out with everybody. He had a little bit of money. He said I
right,
didn't know he was as big as he was.
right.
And Tyson was like, you would see him all over because Tyson said he hung in Harlem a lot. And he said, I would see. He said, I would see him and be like, yo, where this kid come from? He said they was all kids. He said, I thought they was like, just young kids that made a little bit of money. He said, I just didn't know how much money they made until now. And Tyson
Yeah,
was like, yo, yeah. Tyson was like, I didn't know they was that deep involved.
doing it, and I get what you're saying, Antoine. About him being a Nicky Barnes, and in a way he was, because in the '80s, because of crack and the way it sold so cheap, so fast, but so much, speed, frequency, rather, quantity. It was it was young kids for the first time. Like in the '70s, your super fly cats, and your heroin dealers and all of that. They weren't young kids. They might have had kid runners out there, but the kingpins was a kid. In the '80s, kids was able to become kingpin status,
Kingpins, yeah,
Scarface
yeah,
status.
yeah, with crack.
Word.
Yeah, it
And
was,
Cook
yeah,
said Power was driving to Beamers at 15. It was more about where you was at and how you used your time, in a sense. Yeah, Power from Wu-Tang and all of that. Like, yeah, they was doing it big too. I mean, in the '80s, bro, in the late '80s, man, everybody was. Anybody that, I mean, I would see cats, they would push mopeds, scooters, dirt bikes, all of everything, four wheelers, like no matter what. JB says someone needs to get a sit down with AZ after all this. I'm sure he ain't the least bit surprised. I've heard him, yeah, he's not surprised at all. Um and But yeah, he's done several interviews. I don't know if he's done one
The
since
last one I seen was with
Saturday.
last one I seen I've seen that he did was with Vlad. And he touched on it and he said he didn't know where Alpo was. He said at the time of the interview, he said, I don't know if he's out or if he's but when I looked it up online, I think they said he got out in 2016, I think it was, or something like that.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, yeah.
But
And oh, Raisin had said Meech took it to a different level. You've been watching the BMF show? You seen that on Amazon?
nah, I didn't watch the BMF
Black
show.
Mafia Family? Yeah, BMF. Yeah.
Nah, I've been trying to watch it. I've been trying to watch it, man.
It's
I'll probably check
real
it out
ratchet.
tonight after the show. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out
It's
tonight after the show.
it's the most ratchetest show I've ever seen, bro. It's so hood, bro.
Is it? Is
Yeah, but it's
it?
great. It's great. It's great in that way. And Big Meech's son is playing him in the movie. That's Big Meech's
Okay.
son. Like, he's doing a good job for his first actor job. It's like, I didn't know at first that was Big. I found out that was Big Meech's son. But yeah, yeah. I mean, and Meech and them took it to another level. They was doing it Detroit, because everywhere had their reasons. New York had their thing going on. Detroit, and then you had like
Chicago. Don't forget Chicago.
right,
You got
and Antoine
Chicago,
said
Detroit.
Ricky Ross. You had L.A. L.A. I mean, that's really where it came from, was L.A. Started where it started at. That's where, and Ricky Ross and Freeway and all of them. But they were the ones working with the CIA. Danilo Blandone was with the CIA. They were funding the Contras and putting crack in the hood. That's what Rick Ross has told that whole story a bunch of times. He hasn't done
Yeah, because
anything.
didn't
Yeah.
the original Rick Ross, didn't he try to He tried to sue Rick Ross for the name, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, Vlad, yeah, AZ does a good interview on Vlad that we just watched that again. I watched it like in 2017, but it's a good one. Now he hasn't done anything yet, I guess, since then, since Saturday, but I'm sure he has done little interviews or maybe like a little there's a little one, but there's no big interview with AZ yet. And but I'm sure
Nah, not recently. No, I think
not since
the
Saturday.
biggest since the biggest one I saw was with Vlad. And then I watched the Mike
Oh,
Tyson.
okay.
I watched one where Mike Tyson was talking, and like I said, Tyson was just saying how he just didn't know how big he was. He just thought he was a kid. That had some, he said, I thought he was a little kid, had some money. And that was it.
Yeah, he has some money.
He said, the Razorhead said, I wonder what Teflon Sean Branch thinks about the passing of Alpo.
Good question.
That
It's a
is a
lot.
good question. Mm.
Yeah, I mean, but it's you can't be that surprised. You can't be, but yeah, I mean, cats crying for this dude and all of that, like being all touched by it. Like, come on, man, that cat was dirty.
But, well, because
Grimy, G.
it's a lot of people think it's over. Like, you know what I mean? Like they say, that was so long ago. Everything he did was so long. And some people will be like, let it go. But it goes back to what I said before: street justice.
Right.
And I mean, and like we were saying, streets is watching. You know, the streets gonna get their justice.
I
You
feel,
you
I
kill
feel
somebody
like,
family member, they coming, they go. That's just
yeah,
what's going down.
right. That's why I say I feel more for Rich Porter. When I heard Alpo died, I was like, R.I.P. Rich Porter, bro. You know what I mean? Like he happy now because
Right.
he didn't just kill him. It was a lot of, and then Rich Porter. It's a sad story, man. His little brother or his uncle kidnapped his little brother, his uncle's own nephew, kidnapped him, tried to extort him for 500,000, which Alpo tried to help him with that. Would have given him 100,000. But they was looking for 500,000, and they chopped the boy's finger off and
Yeah, that's
dumped
just
him,
crazy, bro.
cut him in,
That's
put
just
him in
crazy, man.
14 trash bags. They found 14 trash bags with the kid in Orchard Beach, and his body was found like a mile away from where Rich's body was found. That's the crazy shit. Orchard Beach, like out in Orchard Beach, but it's a sad story all around for that family, man. But Alpo had it coming. I'd be surprised when cats like Alpo is still walking around. Like Sammy the Bull. That's another. Sammy the Bull is out here with no backing from the mob. Like, but
Mm.
he's heavy on YouTube. I watch Sammy the Bull's videos, yo. Every time Sammy drop a new video, it's a couple videos that as soon as they drop something, I'm on it. One of them is Premiere when he drops them
Okay.
"So What's Up" videos and he's showing how he made the beats, and Sammy the Bull.
I'll be on watching that. I'll be on Six Element. So Six Element drop a joint, I'm on it. You know
That's
what I
not
mean?
that's automatic. I mean, that's
You
obvious.
know what I mean? That's where I'm at. You
That
know what I
goes
mean? Full blast. When Full Blast drop something, I'm
full
on that
blast,
too. Yeah, I'm on
right,
that
right.
hard. I'm on that
That's
hard. You
another
know what
one.
I mean?
That's another
Yeah,
one
I'm
for
on that
sure.
hard. I'm on that real hard.
Absolutely.
Mm. But yeah, man, it was, and then he got killed on Halloween. You know what I mean? So it's
Technically,
just,
yeah, it was
yeah,
3:20 a.m.
yeah. It's a
Halloween.
it's a hell of a way to it's a hell of a way to start Halloween off, man. Murder. Yeah. But I'm quite sure Alpo, he knew he shouldn't have went back there. And if he did,
All
he
right,
probably just
y'all.
didn't care.
Let me full blast radio. All right. I'm just saying it's the ones that ain't affiliated with me that I fuck with is DJ Premier and Sammy the Bull. But of course I fuck with my affiliates, Full Blast, Cooks 24, Spadeonomics Comics, definitely Comic Crusaders, shout out Al Mega. It's a lot of channels that I rock with. Just to be clear, I don't want nobody to feel left out. Razorhead
Yeah,
said
we mess with everybody. We mess with
Preacher,
everybody.
yeah, Preacher was the guy that helped Rich's uncle Apple was Rich's uncle,
Yeah,
kidnapped his little brother. The irony of that is that Rich allegedly said Preacher to do a hit some years later, sent Preacher to do a hit, paid him to do a hit some years earlier. Yeah, Preacher was a feared dude, hitman in the area that they worked with. JB said, can't feel anything for Rich Porter. Rich killed one of his good friends over the game. Rich was robbing Alpo, which is what fueled him to be taken out. It's the game, it doesn't discriminate. That's facts. I mean, it's
that's
facts.
true.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
It's all
Antoine
facts.
said, Antoine said he died on the same day as MF Doom, same date and same time,
Is
or
that
same
right?
death. And it said die on the day of MF Doom death at the same time,
Because we heard about MF Doom like a month,
like
like
a
a month.
month later.
Yeah, because
On New
we heard
Year's.
about
No,
it.
was it New Year's Eve or something
It's
like
New
that?
Year's
It was
Eve.
it
Yeah,
was New Year's Eve. Yeah, we heard it
yeah.
was New Year's Eve. We heard yeah, we
Yeah,
heard
his wife had kept it a secret for like a month.
I wonder why she did that. I don't
Or no, not a month. Yeah, I guess it was Halloween or something like that. Yeah.
yeah, he died on Halloween. He died on Halloween and then we didn't hear about it until like New Year's.
Yep, New
And
Year's.
everybody was like, wow, why she take so long to say something? Like we just I don't know, bro. I'm always gonna be perplexed about that one. You know? But
Yep.
that goes back to like we were talking about the other day with the Illuminati and the signs and stuff like that. Man. That's
Yeah.
a whole nother subject. A whole nother subject, man.
And AZ, he be thinking about that stuff too, because he was saying he didn't want to say nothing on the Vlad interview, but he was saying like it's other forces. Because look, not only with the hood stuff, but the movie Paid in Full. He said when I wrote the movie, it was called Trapped, and it was a whole cautionary tale message to try and tell the youth not to do this.
Right.
And they took it and changed it to Paid in Full, and made it to glorify that
He made it to a
lifestyle.
gangster movie. He made it to a
Made it
gangster film,
into it
man.
right, made it
Yeah,
and made it
Scarface, another Scarface, man.
right, and then he said, and then they made it look like he set up Alpo at the end to get caught by them cops, but he said that was completely made up for the movie too. So
Okay.
they
Well, they
kind
gotta
of
have
did
some
that.
drama, man.
He's
You
like,
know.
but nah, but he's saying that they did it. He's saying that they did it to make him look bad, so that the hood wouldn't respect him, and kids wouldn't respect him and listen to his message of don't do this.
Don't do it.
Don't
Yeah.
live this right life. He's like they did it to diminish his character and all of that. But yeah, it was a Rockefeller movie. It was Dame Dash. I mean, so you already know how Dame is. So they gonna make it into some shit. But yeah, it's a sad story, man. But all right, did you watch the did you watch the Wu-Tang? Did you watch the finale of the Wu-Tang and American Saga Wednesday?
I was highly impressed. Like,
It was very
highly
good.
impressed, man. It was good, bro. It was good. It was good. It's
It was
getting better.
very.
It's getting better, man. It's getting better.
What I
I
like
mean, I'm
about it,
still, I'm still stuck on. I mean, not to cut you off, but I'm still stuck on the episode before that when they
Cream.
did Cream and all that. Man, that was, yeah,
Oh,
I had to go back. Yeah, I had to go back and watch that again because that out of all the episodes, even though the finale was good, but out of all the episodes, that was the one that stuck with me the most, man. That was the one I thoroughly enjoyed. That Cream episode, man. I really liked
yeah,
that
that
one.
was a good one. That was a great one.
Yeah,
That was a great one. I love though in this last one, the finale one, how they you could tell they were in a different position. Like at the end of the show, you see that they're in different, a different position. They made it. They're on a different, and so what season 3 is gonna be. They setting that up. Shout out to Marculon Sigler in the building. Love Wu Tang. Hate they flood messed up their albums. Yeah, bro. Because
yeah,
album, Deck was
that
supposed to
album.
have the first solo. Inspector
Yeah,
Deck
he was.
be the first
You know,
solo, but
I
he got
I
destroyed.
watched it. I watched the interview. I think it was I don't know if it was Meth or Deck. And he said when they planned to make the albums, he was supposed to drop first because according
Yeah,
to Method Man was Meth and Deck, and Meth said that according to the Wu, they all always knew Deck was nice,
yeah, he was
rhyme wise.
the
Yeah,
lyricist.
they said to them he was the nicest one, and they said they wanted to drop his joint first. But RZA had to flood because Meth's album got messed up in that flood as well. And
Yeah,
RZA said he lost a whole bunch of beats. Yeah,
bunch
RZA
of
said I
albums.
had mad beats. Yeah, he said I had mad beats set up.
Yeah,
So who knows what Method's Man? Because a lot of people kind of say Meth's album was kind of commercial, and it was
it was
this, but
Def
Method
Jam.
Man, yeah, but
Yeah,
Meth
he was
said it
Def.
was rushed. Yeah, Meth
He
said
was
he
Rush.
said it
He
was
was Def
rushed.
Jam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he said we had to bring that album out in a certain time, and I had to
Yeah.
do we had to. He said we had to go back and do the whole album again.
But
So
yeah, and it do have to be a season 3, man, based on that.
yeah, it
Uh
got to be a season 3, man.
Cliffhanger is deep. Shout out to Cook said the cliffhanger too deep. And Antoine said the best Wu-Tang albums are Enter the 36 and Forever. I agree that the best
I
Wu-Tang
agree
group
with that.
albums are 36 and Forever. I still, I consider the solos still. I still call those Wu-Tang albums like the Purple Tape,
Yeah,
Liquid Swords. To me, that's still a Wu album. Of course, it's still a Wu album. It's not a
I
Wu
don't
group
know,
album, but
Reno,
all the
man.
members be on them.
See, I don't know, bro, because like I feel the same way, but I also feel like as a collective, it's a different vibe as a collective for me. I
Yeah,
might be
nah,
wrong, but if anybody agree with me in the chat, let me know. I
yeah,
feel when they
nah.
put out their
I agree
solo
with that
albums,
too.
that's
But I
them
still
shining.
consider
It's
the
still Woo.
solos
No, it's
are
still
Wu.
Woo.
Still Wu.
It's still Woo, like you said. But
Yeah,
I just feel like I judge them like this: what they come out with as a collective, as the Wu-Tang Clan, it's a certain sound I want to hear. Yeah, but when they go individually, that's different. They could do a little something different. But when I hear Wu Tang Clan dropping an album, there's a certain sound. Like Eight Diagrams. Like a good point is a lot of people hated Eight Diagrams. Even the group, people in the group hated Eight Diagrams
yeah,
because they said it wasn't really their sound. Quentin Tarantino was quoted as saying the same thing. Like, look, like I like Wu and them, but it just didn't sound like them. And then when
right,
they
right,
came out with the saga continues, that was more like a Wu Tang sound.
right.
And then in the interview, RZA just said, he said, I got to go back to sampling. He says, just something I forgot about. I haven't done it in a long time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but RZA still be producing the solo, like
Oh,
all the
yeah. The
early
solo albums,
solos.
yeah.
You still got all the members do songs on them. I mean, it still feels very much a Wu-Tang project, even if it's a solo. They're not very different to me from the Wu-Tang albums because they're still RZA. You still have all the same MCs. They just might have a theme to it, like Purple Tape had the mafia theme. Iron Man had the Carlito's Way slash Sonny Carson vibe to it. But and Antoine said the oh, hold on, oh, we got a question. Raisin has said, is Ghost the best Wu member album for album? Well, my Ghost is my favorite MC,
Ghost
period.
is the most consistent. I can
Ghost
say
is my
that, man.
favorite MC, period.
Yeah,
If
he's
I
the
do
most
a top
consistent.
five,
Yeah.
my top five goes Ghostface, Raekwon, AZ, Nas, Coogee Rap. Like that's my five. Ghostface
What's
is
your
up
top?
there. Ghost
How would you rank them? How would you rank them as far as the clan? Like what would you put them in order if you had to put them in order from 1 to 5, 1 to 9?
1 to 9.
Yeah, 1 to 9? How would you go?
Wow. Okay. So now lyrically or just rap, just my favorites is gonna be Ghost, Ray. It's a toss up. See, then it gets foggy for me because then it's like Deck, but then the Jizza, Meth. Then it's like it get foggy. But I have to say, I mean, lyrically, Deck, Jizza, Meth. I don't know. See, but then Meth sometimes becoming so crazy with it. It's hard, man, to put the 9 in order for me. For me, because
Man,
they're all so different. They all bring so many different things to the table that it's like saying, what's your for me, like even my favorite music is it's hard to do with favorite with music, but yeah, probably that
well,
way. Probably Ghost Ray. Let's
yeah,
say let's say let's say
yeah. Shout out to
Jizza,
everybody in the
Meth,
chat. Everybody in the
Deck.
chat? Put your Woo members in
Put your
order from
rules in
first to
order
last. Yeah,
from
from
first
first
to
to
last.
last. Yeah, it's interesting to hear everybody's different perspective, but put your Woo members in order from
'Cause
first to
everybody's
last, man.
different.
Put it up in the chat. Let us know what you rocking with. You know what I
So all
mean?
right, so let me do all 9. Let me do all 9. We got Ghost Ray, Jizza, Meth, Deck, Dirty, See, but then I forget about Cap too. I give Cap a
You
2.
got Cat, Master Killer,
And then Master Killer,
and
then
you
you
got.
got you guys my probably my least favorite.
Wow, bro. Yeah, you got.
You guys probably my
Wow,
least favorite.
wow, man.
And
I'm
I don't say
hoping
I
one
don't
day.
like it. Look, the
I'm
Wu is still
hoping.
my favorite group of all time. Like even
I'm
the
hoping him
worst
and
Wu is still the
I be.
better.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping him and Deck do an album together one day. Deck and you got.
Yeah,
Just
you
do an
guys,
album. Just
you
drop
just
a joint, man.
I ain't he's got his moments. You guy has his moments. He's got a verse now and then that it's like whoa, like no question. He holds his
Right.
own as a member of the Wu. I'm not gonna say he's whack, but it just far as he's got the least projects that I like. He's just got his style is very I don't know, maybe old school kind of. I don't know, but just not my favorite.
Maybe old school. Yeah, because the
Mark
clips
Alon
from
said,
the.
Mark Alon said also man, when ODB scrapped with the RZA about signing with Elektra instead of Def Jam. Yeah, and RZA too. RZA, like the Bobby Digital projects wasn't my favorite. RZA's
Whoa,
got
I like though. I like the Bobby Digital
it
Pro. I
wasn't
like
my
those joints, bro.
favorite. They was I mean I got them, but it wasn't my favorite of the solos. Like my favorite
Oh, not
solo
my favorite. Yeah,
of all Ghost
Liquid
albums
Swords for me. It's Liquid
is
Swords.
my Supreme Clientele. Even the RZA says Supreme Clientele is his favorite of all the albums he's ever produced. It's my favorite Wu album. It's my favorite Ghost album. Then it's the Purple Tape. Then it's Liquid Swords. I mean, then it's see, but then it's like, do you pepper in the group projects, or if you're talking just solos, it's
If you
Iron
talking
Man.
solos, all right, check it. If you talking
Then it's
solos for
Iron
me,
Man. Then it's the
if you
Cow. Then it's
talking,
Controlled
if yeah,
Substance.
if you talking solos for me, it go like this.
But look,
It's
there's a
gonna
lot of
go.
dope shit too.
It's
Because
gonna
then I
go.
be
It's
forgetting
gonna go
Bulletproof
liquid.
Wallets.
Right. I was gonna say for me. Well, let's talk
You
about
know
the
what I'm
first run.
saying? The
The first
Wild,
run of
The
albums,
Wild is
the Wild.
crazy.
Yeah.
Is a
Well, let's just go with
phenomenal.
they. Well, let's just go Reno. Let's just go with their first drops.
The
Everybody's
first,
first drop.
yeah,
How would you rank them? Because if it was me, I would go Liquid Swords, the Purple Tape, Return to the 36 Chambers, Controlled Substance. Then I would go with Golden Arms because I thought Golden Arms was dope. The
wow.
Pillage, I thought the Pillage was dope.
You
And
putting
then I would, and then I would go with Supreme. And then actually, I would go with Supreme Clientele, then the Pillage.
no, you can't do Supreme Clientele because you said they first dropped, so you got to go
Oh,
with
if I
Iron
mean,
Man.
so it'd be Iron Man, yeah, Iron Man, and then I would
Then
go
you
with
got
the
Cal,
Pillage. I would go with Pillage, then to Cal, and then see that's eight. I'm missing one person. Oh, and then Master Killer's first. Master Killer's first joint would be my
right?
probably be last. But that don't mean I don't. I don't. That'd be the order in which I like them because of the simple fact of the production on the album. Like I literally thought Liquid Swords. When I heard Liquid Swords, I heard Meth's album before that, and then I heard the Purple Tape before. When I heard Liquid Swords, I was blown away. I literally was blown
Man,
away. I was
bro,
blown away. I literally was blown away. And I still like those other albums, but I just thought that Liquid
my
Swords
solos
was
go like
so
this.
hip hop that it just
It's
blew me
so
away.
dope, bro. Like, cause only thing I do is I flip your first two. For me, it's is the Purple Tape, then
Purple, then
Liquid
Liquid.
Swords. Yeah,
Okay.
because I had they, I those two right there, man. They just both held whole sections of my life. You know what I'm saying? But Purple Tape, Liquid Swords. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm gonna go Iron Man. Then I'm gonna go Uncontrolled. No, then I'm gonna go to Cal because it's still a classic. It is. It's not like Antoine says. Not a lot of tracks. It's a short album.
To Cal, yeah, to Cal is short, yeah.
Then I'm
Yes.
gonna go to Pillage. The Pillage
Okay.
is crazy underrated, bro. The Pillage
It
is
is
nice.
underrated. And I like the Pillage. It is underrated, but I like the Pillage, bro.
I love the Pillage, B.
Yeah, I thought
And
Pillage was dope, man.
yeah, Uncontrolled Substance. Return to 36 Chambers. And then like Master Killer and then like Bobby Digital.
Yeah, Bobby Digital. I like Bobby Digital's first album. I thought that was fly. I thought that joint was fly.
It had some dope shit on it, but I
Yeah.
just
But the Wu
wasn't
members hate it.
wasn't
All the Wu members hate it. They said they hate Bobby Digital. They hate the whole concept, everything.
it's just it's mad off beat, like he rapping off beat all the time. It's just mad weird. It's hard to get into. But I love the Gravedigger shit.
Gravediggers was
Gravedigger's first
yo,
album is
and that
nice.
came out, bro. That took the world by storm. I'm gonna keep it a buck. Everybody and their mother was after the grave. It was like
Yeah,
hollering
dude.
grave diggers when that came out, man.
Yeah, I
The
had the
second
gold
album,
chains and all of that.
Reno, I think the second album to me, I might be wrong. People in the chat, I
You're
might think
wrong.
different, but I thought I might be, but I thought that
It was good,
the pick, the axe and the shovel.
right?
I mean, the pick, the sickle and the shovel. That second album, I thought that was dope. I
Oh,
thought
yeah,
that
it
was
was
way,
dope. But
I
I thought
thought
you
that
was
was
gonna
way
say that
better.
I thought you was gonna say it was better than the first one. I think 6 Feet
Yeah,
Deep
to
is
me,
the best.
6 Feet Deep was hot, but the second one to me, it was way better. Like
Wow,
I
way
liked the
better.
first one. It was way better than me, bro. I
I
can't even lie.
loved it,
I'm
man.
not even going to front on you.
I
I'm
loved
not even
it,
going to
but
front on you, bro.
I
I'm
feel
not even
like
going to
6
front on
Feet
you.
Deep, man. I gotta go with 6 Feet Deep. It's
I like
too
the 6 feet deep, and I still rock that joint today. But
yeah,
pound for pound, when I compare them, I think the production, everything on the second album was just way better, man. Like it was. They took it up a notch, and I think that's what it is for me. Like I liked the first one, but the second one was just better. Like it just took it
right.
up a notch, man. Like Ghost, when Ghost come out with albums, except for Big Doe Rehab.
Right.
Um, I like Big Doe Rehab. I say
Oh,
Ghost
Big Dog
Dini.
Rehab is
After
nice.
after Ghost Dini, if you had to rate all the Ghost albums, I think Ghost albums got better as he went along. And then I got the Ghost Dini, and I was like, damn. Like, but
Yeah, but
Ghost said that
well,
was
you
the album
can't
he always wanted to
yeah,
make.
yeah. Well, you talking about, The Wizard of Poetry,
Yeah, Ghost Dini,
the
Wizard Poetry.
R&B
Yeah,
joint. Yeah, yeah, Ghost Dini, right.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like Supreme Clientele, then Iron Man, and then it's like Bulletproof Wallets, like, you got
That
Big
was
Dog
hot. Bulletproof
Rehab,
Wallace was hot. Big Doe
yeah,
Rehab.
Fish
You got
Scale,
Fish Scales,
Pretty
More Fish.
Tony. Yeah, More
Yeah,
Fish,
Pretty
Pretty
Tony.
Tony. It's all dope. Like, I love all Ghost albums, man. I ain't never heard a Ghost album that was whack to me, never. Um,
Yeah, and Ghost is the
Razorhead,
most consistent out of the
yeah,
world. He's the most consistent out of all of
dropped
them.
definitely dropped the most. Definitely dropped the most, and all good shit. Like,
Yeah,
Meth,
the
I don't
joint he
know,
just dropped. Wait a minute,
Meth
the
is
joint
one
he
of my
just dropped.
favorite, bro.
Ghostface Killers. The joint
It's
Ghostface
it's
Killers was
yes,
fire. And
yeah.
then did you get? But hold up, man. Did you hear the remix album that they did? That what's your name?
Why
I'm being invaded. I'm being invaded, man.
innovated.
I'm
Yo,
being
and then,
invaded.
so what was you gonna say? Go ahead.
Um, when he did Ghostface Killers, and then he did. There was another one he did, and he did a remix album. But Bronze Nazareth remixed it,
Yeah.
and I think it was called the
The
Brown.
brown tape. Yeah, they had the brown tape, but also Ooh,
That was the one he
Massacre
did
was
with
dope.
Adrian Young. That was the one he did with Adrian Young. That was
Yeah,
hot too.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, bro, he's consistent, bro. Like 36 seasons, man. He got it's too many. It's too many.
36 Seasons was hot, man.
Yeah, 12
That
Reasons
was
to
that one.
Die was crazy. The comic book with it. You know what I mean? That was, it's hip hop and comics. That's why I love Ghost, because he mixes comics with hip hop so heavily, like Iron Man, all of that. Um Mario Val said, "Where do you put Old Dirty Bastard?" Yeah, I think we put ODB
Mario
somewhere.
Value. I put an ODB in my top five. I miss
Yeah,
Old Dirty, man.
he's
I really
somewhere.
do. Old Dirty was another one dropped it consistently. He consistently dropped albums, man, and I liked Old Dirty. I was real sad when
He
they
did a
said he
he did a
passed
couple.
away.
He did a couple.
Yeah,
Meth was
I
not. Yeah,
was
Meth is nice. Meth is one of them rappers that it's weird to me because he's one of the dopest rappers, but his first two out, like his second album, I tried hard to like it, but it's not great. Meth's second album is not great either. But he's just like not lucky with the albums, but he's still got great songs, great tracks, singles and all of that.
yeah.
He's
Don't forget about Sour Soul when he did Sour Soul.
and okay, so we
Yeah,
did
I like
so
when he
all
did
right, so
Sour Soul, man.
someone did put their couple people put their joints in order for us. An NBA Live girl said, "Man, this dude I was talking to said RZA is a top 15 rapper." I looked at him crazy. Yeah, RZA is, his battle acts, tongue hacks, tracks, and all of that, but he's not the illest. He's got his moments though. Like RZA's got some crazy verses like camouflage chameleon, ninja scaling your building, no time to grab the gun, they already got your wife and
His
children.
wife and
Hit
children.
from
Yeah.
the
You
president to
guys said, you
the
know what?
resident,
You guys
man,
said the same thing.
man,
Yeah, you guys said
word.
the same thing. Yeah, he said it. He said, listen, Riz is a dope lyricist, but he said, but he ain't jizzing. Like he broke it down. And
Yeah.
I give you guys credit for that. But he said I can't take nothing away from RZA as a
RZA's
lyricist.
the Abbott. He's the Abbott. He's the
But he
producer.
said,
He's
yeah,
got
but
the
he
whole
said, but he
together.
ain't the yeah. But because he was talking about how when they made when they did Wu, he was
Mm,
saying they were stuck on that, trying to figure out how to put it together and who was gonna rhyme on it. And RZA got on it and rhyme. Then he said he was like, "Yo, go get Cap." And he said Cap was working a security job at the time. He said
yeah.
they went and got Cap, and he said Cap came back and killed it, and
Yeah.
it was a hit.
Yep.
And he was, because you guys was like, I don't get credit for a lot of stuff that I did. Like he said, the ideas I came up with. Like he said, a lot of stuff we was like really stuck, and I was like, yo, like do this, do that. And he was going through it, and then he was saying how sometimes RZA, like he said, RZA just give up. Sometimes he'd be like, man, skip, like But he said, I'd be like, nah, man, go get Cap or go get Meth. Let's put them on. Let's do it like this,
Right.
and he flipped it.
Hell yeah. And Cooks gave us his list. He said first Meth, then Ghost, then Ray, then Deck, then ODB. He was just doing his top five. And then
Okay.
JB said Meth is my favorite MC of all time. Wordplay, cadence, voice. Meth has some witty ass shit. Facts. Raising Head said he's borderline whack. Talking about you, you God. Talking about you God. Talking about you God.
I
And
know
Ray
everybody hate.
Iron
Everybody
Man.
always say that about you.
And Antoine said, okay, so Antoine, okay, so I stand, let me not offend nobody. Antoine said his number one is RZA of MCs, then Jizza, then Ghostface, then Raekwon, then Method Man, then You God, then Inspector Deck, then ODB, and then Cap last. So he put, yeah, I mean, that's like you said,
Nah, that's legit. That's a legit lineup.
everybody, any lineup is legit because everybody got their own. That's what's so dope about the Wu. You know what I'm saying? Every member is so different. It's like the X-Men or something. Like every one of them has got their own mutation, their own power.
Right. They're on superpower.
Right.
Right. Right.
And yeah, what Cook say? Iron Man to Cal, only built liquid swords. Strong list. Mark Killon
That's a
said,
strong one.
he said, yeah, I love how Method Man come with hooks. Cash rules everything around me. Dollar bill, yo. Yeah.
Antoine, I give you credit for that. I give you a shout out. Yeah, RZA do be off beat and on beat. So it's sort of like Cool Keith. Cool Keith is dope, man. He don't get credit like he should.
Yeah.
But Cool
That's
Keith
what I
is
was
dope,
saying.
man.
That's what I was saying. It Bobby Digital joint was kind of offbeat a little bit, but
Yeah, he is a kind of offbeat. Yeah.
Cap in the show. Yeah, they introduced Cap in the show. That's another thing they did. Well, they reintroduced Cap in the in this last episode. So Capadonna was in the finale.
Suspects Queen B said I love Ghostface, ODB, Risen Method, and Red.
Right.
That's a
Yep.
strong. That's a strong lineup too. That's strong.
Yeah. I mean,
That's a strong lineup too.
some people put Redman up in there, I guess.
But it's gonna be
Um,
different for everybody. Like
yeah.
everybody's gonna have. You know, everybody's gonna have something different. You know, and I like that. I like that everybody got something different.
See, now Cook said, "Hello, only built for Cuban links, y'all." But I always said the purple tape. I kept saying the purple tape, but that's the second person that did that. When I was
What?
I was having this conversation online the other day, and I was saying like that the purple tape was one of the best solos, and I was telling them, which solos were the best. And then some guy was like, "Yeah, but what about Cuban links though?" And I'm like, "B, that's the purple tape." And
That's the purple tape,
I was
right?
like, "That's what we call the purple tape." And he's like, "Oh, okay, yeah, like yeah, right." I'm like, "All right, B, like go use Google, fam." And so he came
Right,
back. He
right.
was like, "Yo, I just learned something, man. Like I found out." He said, "I did research and found out that the first, 10,000 copies was printed up in purple plastic, but
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
yeah, but it was a lot more than the 10,000. But yeah,
yeah.
because
Because
everybody
I
had
know,
a
I know, I know. Cameron said that back in the day, he said they had a little spot that they used to
Well,
hustle
Cook,
out of,
I know
and they
cooks
had a
know. I know cooks know that it's called the purple tape. But
yeah.
no, I'm
And
sorry.
he
Go ahead.
said he said that's what they called it. He said they called it the purple joint. He
Right.
said they didn't even call it Cuban links. They just called it the purple joint.
Because don't
And I
nobody
think
want to
that's
say
where it's
only
yeah.
built
I think
for
that's
Cuban
where it stemmed from.
every time. It's just it's a short name, purple tape. It's a short and it's stuck. And I mean, I used to be like, even when we was playing CDs, I'd be like, yo, give me the purple tape, or throw the purple tape in. Calling the CD the purple tape. CD wasn't even purple. It was red.
It's
Red and
real.
yellow.
Hey, Brian get the CD for years, man. I was rocking the tape for the longest time.
I
But I
didn't start
finally bought
fucking
it
with
on CD.
CDs until like 2000. Straight up. I
Yeah,
rocked
me too.
tapes for
Yeah,
many
yeah.
years. I
Yeah, I
rocked
rocked
tapes
tapes
way
till I
after
couldn't
that.
rock them. Yeah, I
Yeah.
rocked them. I couldn't rock them anymore, man. You're right.
Yeah. So my deck
Yeah.
was they didn't stop making really tape decks and shit for the car. That's why I really
Mhm.
but yeah, Sons of Man and Killer Army albums, Angelo. Okay, well Mark Lon said RZA's a better
Who
producer.
said Sons of Wait, who said Sons of Man and Killer? Now I'll
No,
keep it a
we get
buck.
into that. We getting that. He said, but
Oh,
I love
okay. 'Cause I like Sons of Man and Killer Army. That's
yeah.
that's
He
that's
said,
that's
I love the episode where they showed his process for coming up with beats to lay down tracks. That's a great thing about the show is that they animate, they illustrate things like that, like showing Narissa making his music and turning and like when they showed like the band members, the drummers and shit, and he was sitting there and like they kind of made this fantasy world where like when he was playing the instruments, it would
right.
have like if he was playing a drum beat, there would be like a live drummer there, and he could talk to him, and try to and like his uncle came in, was sitting there like in his mind and stuff. And like it's like how they showed him playing chess with himself, with the different people, with the different hymns that he had been in his, through his life and stuff up to that point, the chess matches and all that. But then Angelo said, what about Sons of Man and Killer Army albums? Sons of Man
It was
first
dope.
album was crazy to
Sons of
me,
Man
man.
was crazy to me. Yeah, that was
I really dug
bruh.
Sons of Man. Killer Army to me, and this is just to me, bro. This is just my own. Don't hate me. Killer Army to me was a like I almost felt like each one of them sounded like a certain Wu member. They were almost like a little junior
Yeah.
Wu.
Oh,
They were almost like a junior Wu-Tang. Almost
really?
almost like it sounded like a cover band almost, but they had their own songs. Like no, please don't get me wrong, Killer Army, y'all my dogs. I met
Oh
Don
man.
Pacino. I met
Oh,
Don
oh,
Pacino. What I'm saying is I fuck with y'all. I fuck with Killer Army, but
oh man.
when Sons of
I
Man
do
came
miss
out,
CD covers
it's
and
so
books. Yeah.
different. Killer Army, what I'm trying to say, let me please
Oh,
rephrase
break
that.
it down.
I
Break it
take it
down
back.
for us, brother.
What
Break
I'm
it down
trying to
for us.
say is
Break it
that
down.
Killer Army was very much like Wu-Tang, but Sons of Man was very different to me. To me, I felt Sons of Man's album was very different. It had a different sound, a different style. It had a very and it's hard to put it into words, but Sons of Man, they got a very unique style. Put it like that.
Yes, they
60
do.
Days
Yeah.
Assassin, Killer Priest, Hellraiser,
Yeah.
currently
Hellraiser,
heavyweight.
Fourth Disciple.
Right.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
cats. But nah, but Killer Army's cool. Like I met Don Pacino, I met the Wu, I met them all in like 2001 in Tampa, Florida. Good people, really good dudes, and I fuck with them. What I mean is that Killer Army just sounded like the Wu. It was like just an extension of the Wu. Whereas
I
Sons
thought
of
Killer
Man,
Army was hard. I thought
hard.
they was hard, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I
Wu is
love
my
Killer
favorite
Army.
group. Of course, a group that sounds like Wu is gonna be dope to me. But
I
Sons of
never
Man was
thought they
mad
sounded like
different.
Luda.
They
You
do.
think they sound like
Do.
Wu? Yeah.
Do.
I mean, that's your opinion, but no,
To
that's
me,
that's your
though.
opinion. I
This is
respect it. No,
my
that's your opinion. That's your opinion. I always thought that they was like they was just different, bro. And I always thought they had the Wu Tang sound, but they were just different. To me, they never. I could never compare them to the Wu, or they never sounded like the Wu to me. I just thought that they had the Wu Tang sound, but they was
right,
just different, man. And they
right.
came different, man. One of them rapped real fast. Another one had that smooth flow. Another
Mm-hmm.
one kind of rap like in the middle, like he was. Man, they dope, man. Like I don't know,
It
man.
was
Another
it
one be
was a
dropping
point.
lessons all the time.
It was a point in time where I could name like I knew okay this Killer Army member sound like that Wu member. Each one of them I could tell you which one sounded like which one. And I wasn't alone. Like I wasn't the only one saying that. Like my whole circle, everybody I was around, that was conversations that we had. To us, they just sounded like another, like another Wu-Tang clan, which was dope. I mean, we tried to find anything that sounded like Wu. I mean,
Oh,
for the
back
long,
then, yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
it's,
back
it's
then,
all
yeah,
about shit
yeah.
like that.
Oh
But yeah,
God, yeah, yeah.
silent weapons for quiet wars. You know what I
That
mean?
was
Like
dope. That was dope,
phenomenal,
man. That was
phenomenal,
dope. That was
phenomenal.
dope, man. Dope album. It's one of my top. That's one of my favorite albums of all time. To be
Right?
honest with
Sour
you, that's one of
Soul,
them.
another dope one.
Sour Soul with Ghostface. That was dope,
Yeah,
bro.
that was
Yeah,
another dope one. Shout out.
and he collaborated with them on that. The stuff he did with Adrian Young was dope.
Right.
Um, the remix album that Franz Nazareth did for Ghostface Killers was fire. So then because Ghost kind of get you like that. He'll
Right.
do a regular album, then he'll do a remix that's a little harder than the original. And he said, "Look, I bought the album twice, so I bought the same album twice with different name and different beats, but I bought the same album twice. I can't lie."
Uh Antoine said, did y'all hear Jizz's first album before Liquid Swords called Words from the Genius?
Yes, sir. I have it. I actually
Yeah,
have it.
yeah,
I
got
actually
that.
have that joint.
Yeah.
The premier track on there is "Pass the Bone."
Yep. And they was trying to make him kind of they said he was trying to make him into sort of a Big Daddy Kane, and that they was trying to make RZA into like a Rakim. It was Prince Rakim. They were trying to make him Rakim, and they were trying to make Jizza Big Daddy Kane type of dude. See, people down south didn't know that at one point we in Alabama was introduced, only built. Okay, the streets got the purple tape. Okay, so Cooks was referring to when I was saying about the purple tape. But yeah, it was called the purple tape when tapes was out. Like that, there was a cassette tape thing.
It's my Suspects
Raisinhead
Can't
said he
Stop Love
never called
Trying.
it only built for Cuban links. Mario said I miss CD covers and the books. Razor said, "You're not from down south." No, that's right. And Antoine said, "Oh, Reno." He said, "Or you are." He said, yes, Cooks, I'm from the Carolinas." My brother Raisin Head said, "Okay, you from that." Yeah, I don't want to bring up old shit, man, but I'm just trying to catch up. Trying to catch up. A lot of it's a lot of joints. Wu-Tang is forever and Damien. Oh, that's shout out Queen Suspects Queen B talking about my brother number one suspect. Me and him been on Wu-Tang since we had to been like shit 13 or something like that when
Yeah,
fucking
bro. My brother
93
put me up. My brother put me up on Wu-Tang, man. He came in with the cassette, the
14.
single,
Yeah.
and we listened to that joint. And after that, I was hooked. I was like, "Yo, who is these?" He was like, "Yeah, because we got a radio station here that's in Princeton. It's 1033 TRB, and on Thursday
Right.
nights they spin hip hop, and they spin underground hip hop. Like I mean, they hard, and they still spin now on Thursday nights, man. You go in there, PRB 1033, Princeton, Thursday nights they spin it hard, bro. You want to hear some real hip hop? Besides they spin like full blast radio spin. And
Right.
that's when we first heard Wu Tang. And I was like, yo, and then we went and got my brother went and got the single. And he was like, yo, these jokers is tight. After that, we was on everything they did after that, man.
Mm-hmm.
Without the internet.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Suspect. Oh, Antoine said you met them, Reno. You met them, Reno, when they made their third album, Fear, Love, and War, when they was on Loud Records, when Loud Records was going out of business that same year, 2001. But oh, you talking about the Killer Army? Yeah. So hold on, this bro, I met him in 2001, and I still in my wallet. It's my wallet in my wallet. I carry the motherfucker
you
laminate.
got, you got your laminate.
That's the VIP access Tuesday, August 29th, year 2000. Wu-Tang Clan VIP. Keep that shit in my wallet, bro. That was a crazy night. I mean, when you meet your favorite group of all time, it's
Did you
crazy.
party with him? Did you get to party with him or
Yeah,
anything?
yeah. We freestyle, smoke
Mhm.
blunts, all of that. Because what happened was we went to the club. Me and my wife went to the club, and first we went to Disney World. I went. We blew like $4,000 at Disney World in a weekend, and seen the Wu at the House of Blues, and it was crazy because we didn't know they was gonna be there. We was just walking by House of Blues, seeing the marquee. It was like Wu-Tang is here tonight, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit. So we go to the front of the thing. It's everybody's outside. I'm like, it's gonna be some scalpers out here with tickets. Found 2 tickets. Went in, saw the show. It was crazy. So we go home, back to from Orlando back to St. Pete, Tampa area, and go to the club. I think the next weekend, and they were at the club in Tampa on Ybor City at Frankie's Patio, I think it was the club, and we go in, we watch the show. It's crazy. That's when Don Pacino from the Killer Army was walking through the thing and came up, and I was like, dapped him up. We talked a little bit about shit, verses and stuff. And
Right.
end of the show, end of the night, we leaving out the club and we stand outside and the van, because the Wu still rides in vans, like long vans. They're not using like tour buses and then at this time. They still in vans. And the van was there. And so I'm like, okay, they about to come out. So the staff, like the security sitting there blocking the crowd back like this so that they can come out and run on the van. And I see that one of the guys that says, security on his shirt, he looked mad familiar to me. And I'm like, and he got a scar on his head because he got shot in the head. He got a big old lump, a big old dent in his head and shit. So I'm like, that's Prince. That's my guy, in my 5% days and shit. That was Prince. And I was like, yo, Prince. And he turned around. He's like, Reno. And I'm like, oh shit, this cat working security right now for the Wu. So he come up, we dap it up, and he's like, yo, come follow us to the after party. And I'm like, yeah, fool ain't gonna let me in. Shit. He's like, here. And he took the laminate off his neck. That's this laminate. Took the VIP off his neck, put it on my neck, and he's like, now follow me. We went there, shit, went to it was like a little after club, a little after hours, little spot and deep in the hood, like not no nightclub shit, some gutter shit. And we went in there and come on, man. And kicked it, man. Yo, true man. I'm this far, like this close sitting, you God, Ghostface, True Master, like Ray is there, Redman is there, everyone's there, and we freestyling, smoking blunts, just kicking it, bro. And like till this fucking sun came up.
That's dope, man. That's a dope story, man. I never.
It was night.
I wish I could. Man, listen, I'll be stoked if I could have got to meet one of them, man. I might have passed out. I'm not even gonna
And the thing
lie.
was though, they're just regular dudes. Like they're just cool, like real down to earth people. They're not it wasn't like on no tip of like feeling like getting their autograph or none of that. It wasn't like that. It was very much
Right.
just kicking it with homie type shit. It wasn't like these are celebrities. Nobody was crowding around them or none of that. They was just chilling off, doing their thing and shit, doing whatever they do and shit.
That's
So
fly, man. That's fly. That's
it was
fly,
crazy.
man.
It was dope experience. Raisinhead said, "Does ODB get points taken off for other clan members writing his rhymes?" Dirty? Does ODB get points taken off for clan members writing his rhymes?
No, nope.
But Dirty wrote his
Sorry.
rhymes though.
That's what I always thought. I always thought Dirty wrote his own
Dirty
rhymes,
was a
man.
lyricist. They talked about it. Like Dirty was one of the first. He's the one that got RZA into writing and shit. But yeah, Dirty. I mean, and his verses were real. Let's be honest, real basic type shit. A lot of it's
Yeah, yeah.
like a lot of
Yeah,
his verses
gotta
are
come.
punched in.
Yeah, yeah. What's dirty? Gotta
Where
come back
they'll
to
say like,
attack.
yeah,
Anyone who say they got slack, cause I don't give a fuck. I want to see blood, whether it's period blood or
oh,
busting your face.
what? So
Yeah, man.
yeah, but like RZA said, he said I had to punch a lot of Dirty's rhyme. Like you hear say a line, and then you can tell that they kind of connected another line to and cut it and put it in there. It's called a punch in. But yeah, so he did his thing, but it was Dirty was about the vibe. It was about his
Yeah,
attitude,
yeah.
his persona, and all
But
that.
Dirty kind of flowed. Like me and my brother was talking about the clan when he first came out, and my brother always said that he said I like the way old Dirty roll his voice when he rhyme. Like like he's like niggas be
Yeah.
rolling, just trolling, roll. Yeah, so he would always talk about that. And I'll
Vibrato.
never forget. Yeah, Dirty always kind of rolled his voice over his rhymes, man. But it was dope, man. It was like he said, there's no father to his style.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that was dope, bro. I gotta take my hat off to Dirty on that one, man. Can't say
Absolutely.
I can't.
Dirty is a great vocalist, man.
I got every album Dirty ever put out, every one.
Word. What was his third one?
Nigga, please. And then
I
he
thought
had
that
the
was
Osiris. Nah, the second one was First one was 36.
Yeah.
The second one was, it might have been Nigga Please. Let me see. Hang on.
The second Nigga Please was the second one.
Because I know he put,
He had the Rick James and shit on. He had the Rick James wig on the cover with the yellow and
yeah,
white.
that might have been the second one. Yeah.
And it said N-I star star A.
Yeah.
Please. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember the
because
cover.
okay, yeah. Yeah, because then he had Osiris. He had the Osiris joint. And the Osiris, that was the last one. That's the one he made when he died.
Cook said,
When he,
when was the okay. Cook said that ODB has some help sometimes from the real RZA and Jizza on his verses and stuff. I'm sure he do. I'm sure he do.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. Nigga Please was the second one. That came
yeah,
out in '99.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cause nah, I know because that was the year I met my wife. And that was like one of our albums that was one of our albums, bro.
That's what the Jersey y'all. That's what the Jersey I was
Yeah,
bumping. I
yeah,
was bumping
heavy,
that. I
heavy,
was bumping Old Dirt. Yeah,
heavy.
because Old Dirt, yeah, Dirt, man, that was my man. Dirt. Listen, when he dropped that, man. Oh, 36 Chambers was my joint, man. He played
Yeah,
around on it a lot, but it was good. It was
yeah.
good, man. Because a lot of people said that. They said they thought he played too much on the album.
He played a lot. He
But
played around, but I like, it has some ill track. And Sons of Man was on that, and like 12 o'clock
yeah,
and 6 seconds, and
yeah.
and then Cook
You
said
got
when. So what he's talking about is Redman is
Redman,
doing
Redman.
Redman's does a podcast with Nick Miss Parker, and they do a show called the Muddy Water Show, radio show on XM satellite XM radio, and they picked they picked three people. They picked Cooks and someone else to be on their podcast, and Cooks was on the podcast with them talking about being honest with yourself, or something along that line was the subject, and they had a cool little podcast. Then recently they did one. They were supposed to do a Halloween one where they said they were going to pick some people to be on and tell a scary story, whatever. I was one of the ones that they picked.
Okay.
And so, but they postponed that show, which now obviously is not going to be a Halloween show. But I talked to the manager, or not the manager, Miss Parker. She's one of the, I don't know who she is, the Red Man. They do the show together. I don't know if she's just the co-host or if she's his manager or what. But I talked to her. She said they definitely still doing it, and that I'm definitely still going to be on the show. So we're hoping, man. Everybody cross your fingers. Let's hope that Redman, when I meet him on that show, will come on Sixth Element, like J. Rue did, and J. Rue the Damager and Pharaoh Monch have been on our show. So let's get Redman on here. When I meet him on that show, let me talk to him, tell him about Sixth Element. Come talk to me and
Oh
Stu
yeah,
Dog
yeah, yeah.
and
Yeah,
Cooks.
come talk to him.
Get
Yeah,
Cooks up over
we
there
got a
too.
lot. Yeah, it'll be a fun show, man. We got a lot to talk about.
Absolutely, absolutely. And then, hopefully then Redman can connect us to another big comic book fanatic, Method Man, who got 30,000 comics, he says. That's a lot of comics. 30,000
That is a
comics.
lot of
A
comics.
whole lot of comics.
That is a
So
lot of
Meth
comics.
is a big comic collector. So he's definitely one that I definitely want to get on the hip hop and comics show with us, man, and talk hip hop and comics. He's one of the epitomes of, but a lot of MCs apparently that you have no idea. A lot of MCs are in the comic books. Just a fact, like heavy. And even if they're not heavily into comics now, they was as kids. They know about the genre. That's why this is called the sixth element of hip hop, because comic books are the unnamed sixth element of hip hop, because they're very much a part of the culture and the music and the MCs and the producers, and everybody rocks with comics, talks about comics, named after comic book characters, talk about shit in there, swinging through your town like the neighborhood Spider Man. Antoine said, "How y'all feel in the last days of Old Dirty when he got down Rockefeller Records back in '04 and left the Wu behind?" How did you think about that, Stu? What did you think about that?
I thought it was. I didn't think it was permanent. I thought it
Right.
was just something for the time, man. Dirty. Dirt had just got out of jail. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? He was in. They had a little bit of rift going on at that time when that happened. Because remember, you guys had came out with the Fallen Angels joint, and they were saying how like Dirt felt like nobody came to really see him or nothing like that. he kind of felt some type of way about that. He's like, nobody put money on my books, stuff like that.
Right.
He was really in his feelings about the whole
Yeah, he
thing.
was hurt. He was hurt. Understandably.
Yeah, he was hurt. Yeah, but you guys had a point. You guys said nobody did that for me when I was locked up, and he
Nope.
said that Klan members gave money, but it just never got to him. And
Right.
he was like, you got to talk to your cousins. Got to talk to your cousins. Talk to whoever was supposed to be in charge of that. So, I think Dirt. I think it was something that was for the time being, but how he lived, it would have been permanent. It was just, how he felt when he
Yeah.
got out of jail.
Right. Do you feel like he left the Wu-Tang though?
No, I never thought he felt. I
I
just
never
felt he
felt like
just
that either.
I felt like he just wasn't messing with him at the time. Like,
And I don't feel like they wanted to be on Rockefeller or anything. I didn't feel like he was like leaving them to be on Rockefeller in that kind of way.
I
Like
thought he
I
just
thought
got a better deal.
it was a
Yeah, I
smart
thought Rockefeller. It was a smart move.
the
Rockefeller
move.
gave him a good deal.
The way the RZA designed the group was so that they could each all go out and do their own things,
Right.
sign to their own labels, have their own projects. That was the whole way he designed the. That's how they changed the music game, as it was. They changed the game for real, the business of it.
That's
Um,
true.
and that track was dope though. I like that track he did with Rock. It was dope.
High in the clouds with Black Rob. He did a joint with Black Rob, High in the clouds. That was hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hot. Another rapper going too soon. That was a hot rapper. His first album was dope too. Black Rob. That was a
Hell
that was
yeah.
a dope album. That
Hell
was a
yeah.
dope one. Underrated, very underrated album.
Very
Dope.
underrated.
Yeah, but dope.
Yeah, man. That was a very good album to me. Like people forget and they just talk about Whoa, but Whoa wasn't even the best song on the album by far.
Nah, it wasn't.
The
It
song
really wasn't.
the album. I bumped the shit out of that joint for a minute.
Yeah, my brother was in love with that album too, man. He
Yeah.
rocked that joint. He was the one who put me up on it. He was like, "Yo, you hear that Black Rob album?" I was like, "Nah." He let me. I made a copy of it, bumped it in the car one day. I was like, "Oh, this album is tight." Like, I was like, "Wow." Like, yeah,
Yeah. But ODB's track with Rockefeller though, like during that time, ODB during that time, yo, shout out Defective Chimp in the building. Salute, brother. What's good? But during that
yeah,
time,
Detective Chin.
it was sad, bro. Like it was sad to me. Like even that song, like the Rockefeller, the one that it's called, it's just like wasting time. Like no more wasting time. You know what I mean? Like that's and it was got an eerie feel to it, man. Just because he died and all that, the way he died. But it's a sad story. Sad
It
story.
is. It really is, bro. It is. It's tragic. It's sad. We don't want it. We didn't want it to end like that, but Dirty was that dude, man. He lived that life,
Mhm.
man. He was on the
Mhm.
edge, burnt the candle at both ends. It's just how he was, man. I remember watching the MTV special where they had Dirt on there, and he had all those kids with him, and he
Yeah.
was. I thought he was joking when he said he was on welfare, but he really was on welfare. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like,
it was
yo,
still on welfare.
I
I
was like, yo,
mean,
Dirt really on welfare, man.
because
But
he wasn't making hella money like that. Like he wasn't, a super rich guy or none at the time, but he had way more money than he shouldn't have needed welfare. But you know how the hood is. You get on food
yeah,
stamps, you just they still giving them to you. It's free money. He looking at that. He look at it like that's money. But yeah, Cook said, RZA did not want to let Dirty go, and that is true. RZA
it's true. No, he
didn't
didn't want
want to
Dirty
let him
going on.
go.
Yeah,
But and then but they did work it out. At first he didn't want to let him go, but he said that they worked it out and came to a, they came to a
agreement to
whatever.
agreement.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, man. I miss Dirt, man. I really do. I really do miss Dirty. I'm not gonna lie, man.
All right, A song unique. That's the only unique A song.
Yeah,
Big shout out to Old Dirty. R.I.P. Old Dirty. R.I.P.
rest
Rich
in peace.
Porter. R.I.P. Alpo
Yeah,
Martinez and all the people
yeah. All the people that passed on,
been killed in the
R.I.P.
struggle.
Man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. R.I.P. Man. Like, we don't want to see anybody die, lose their life, man. But unfortunately, it happens for whatever reason. But
Right.
it's sad when it does. But we don't, you know, Loss of life is a bad thing, man. So
Well, I'm excited for Book of Boba Fett.
do we have a trailer for that?
Yeah, yeah. The Book of Boba Fett is coming, I think, December. And but yeah, if we like Raven has said, we paid more attention to mental health in those days because mental health was definitely is definitely even to this day still, but it's not as bad now. But you know,
Right.
nobody nobody talked about it. Nobody did a whole lot about it or admitted to it or whatever. But yeah, the
That's
Book of
true.
Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett is some gangster. It's some gangster shit. Straight up, it's Star Wars, The Godfather. It's Star Wars mob movie. It's dope. It's gonna be phenomenal. Boba Fett is a straight up gangster now. He took over Jabba the Hutt, who was the Don Corleone of Star Wars. He's now
Yes, he
no longer,
was. Yeah,
yeah. He's now no longer.
well connected, and everything. Yeah.
He was all right. He was the head of the whole underworld, but now it's Boba. And this show is going to show how he kind of comes in and takes that position back. But let's check out this trailer, y'all, real quick. And hopefully YouTube will let it play all the way. But I'll make sure if they do shut it down, that if they do stop it, y'all, it's only going to be for a couple seconds. They'll bring us right back on. But let's check it out. Check it out. Check it out. Boom.
All right.
Maybe if we talk over it.
I am not a bounty hunter.
You can unmute your mic.
I've heard otherwise.
Press that mute button.
So that's Tatooine, right?
Yeah. Tatooine, and there's Boba. And this is the Asian woman that I was talking about the other day.
Now, is this a modern day? This is a modern day Tatooine.
Jabba ruled with fear.
This is between the old trilogy and
with respect.
Okay, so this is why Luke was a baby Tatooine.
No, this is after.
You were all once captains under Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, this is after. This is okay. All right, I know. All right.
Proposal that's mutually beneficial.
This is after the Death Star blew up Tatooine.
Why speak of conflict when cooperation can make us all rich?
What prevents us all from killing you and taking what we want?
Boba.
If you had spoken such insolence to Jabba, he'd have fed you to his menagerie.
Please, please. Speak freely. Speak freely.
Speak your mind. Oh.
Hey, bro. I just want to know: are they going to show how he took over Jabba's?
Well, what we see there,
or is he already in control?
No, what we see in that trailer is he comes and he collects the bosses, of Jabba's, Jabba's captains, and he sits them down. And he's like, "I'm gonna take over." Shit. So this is how he takes over. He sits down with the captains. And he's like, "I'm gonna be, take Jabba's position." And then you see the one guy being like, "Well, what's to stop us from just killing you now?" And we'll see what stops them from that. But yeah, Boba's not fucking around. He's
he never was, bro.
Never was.
He never was.
He's taking his position. He's not playing. But yeah, and then he's got the broad with him, the Asian chick, and
yeah,
she's like his right hand. And that's who I was thinking of the other day when we was talking about the other day when Cooks was on. We was talking about the Mandalorian, and I was talking about the Asian chick, but it was the black girl that we was talking about. But yeah, that's the one I was thinking of. But yeah, she's like a hitman. She's like his right hand, bounty hunter hitman buddy. So
which
yeah,
is dope because we saw what she could do in the Mandalorian.
Right. And this I think it looked pretty good, man. But nah, this takes place. This is Tatooine after the movies with the original movies. So this takes place after they kill the Emperor, after Darth is dead. The Emperor's dead. It's during it's during the Mandalorian time, which is I mean, obviously Luke is like one of the most powerful cats in the galaxy right now. If you follow the books, the comics and the books, and he came and he got Grogu right from the Mando, and he's training him right about now, and so but this is all taking place after what we saw in the Mandalorian. Boba Fett goes, I think, to Tatooine and does this. So this is like the next season of Mandalorian, except Mandalorian ain't in it. So that in timeline wise, but they're still gonna do another Mando season that'll
You
come
think
after.
we're gonna get it? Yeah, I was gonna say, you think we're gonna get another Mando season
I do. I
with
think.
Grogu? With Grogu?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be. I mean, what I think is gonna be what they're gonna do is they're gonna switch back and forth between what Grogu's doing with Luke and what Mando's doing, what he's doing. So it'll be like how they do in shows now, where they'll
Right.
either it'll either be like episode for episode, or it'll be like they'll just switch from scene to scene.
Okay.
Like
CW does, and maybe mix something up in there.
Or like Game of Thrones. Remember how Game of Thrones, they were showing what's going on here, and then they would go show what's going on the other side of the ocean, and
Right.
the desert, and then come back and show Westeros.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. We'll see.
We'll see.
Disney's got some big shoes to fill, man. And then you got the cancel culture and everything that went down. So we're gonna see how they bounce back.
Yeah, man. I think
If I'm able to get, because my subscription went up. I mean, so for the price of my subscription, they better bring it. They better bring it, man, because it went from 69 to 79. So it's
what
yeah.
did
My Disney subscription, bro. I just got an email the other day.
$69.
Yeah, bro. Look, that's what they gave me. That's the deal they gave me when I got mine.
You're not talking about Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Yes.
Oh, Disney Plus is like $15. It's like $10 or something.
You pay what, monthly?
Yeah.
I pay for the year. I knock it out for the year.
Yeah, okay. No, I thought you were talking about monthly.
Yeah, I knock it out for the year. I don't play no games.
Right.
You just take my money, leave me alone for the year.
Leave it alone for the year. Right.
Yeah, leave me alone for the year. Yeah, I don't hit my account for that. Just hit me in November. Hit me at the end of November.
That's smart. But if you already paid the $69 for the year, you ain't got to worry about that $79 till next year.
I got to worry about it this year. They just sent me an email. It'll be $79. They said December.
It's time to renew.
Auto renew me on December 3rd.
And they up $10.
Up $10.
Went up a couple bucks.
Yeah. So for $10, I want some Mandalorian. I want some more. I want some Book of Fett. I want some good stuff, man. Plus, I don't like the way they make you pay all this money, but you don't have premiere access when they bring out a movie, and they're like, oh, you gotta have. Well, come on, that's like another one.
That's why I pay monthly, because if there's no Mando on, or there's no show that I'm watching, I've already seen everything they have on there, all the movies, and then the kid movies and stuff that I don't care to see. I mean, I don't need it for that. But when you're talking about like Clone Wars, Bad Batch, Mandalorian.
Bad Batch was good. Bad Batch was good, right?
X-Men animated series. Did you watch Visions yet? Star Wars Visions?
No, I want to see it. I want to see Visions. I didn't see it yet. That's it. Don't spoil it for me. Don't spoil it for me. I was too busy watching Bad Batch. I had to finish up Bad Batch first.
B, you gonna love it. You gonna dig it the most too, because you fuck with anime too, like I do. Visions is anime. Every episode is a self-contained episode made by a different artist, different animation team, and they make their own anime version of Star Wars. And man, the shit they came up with. Like, it's not about like Luke and Han and all of them. It's about people you never heard of. You know what I'm saying? Like, or they'll be like samurais with lightsabers and shit. It's
right in the Star Wars verse, yeah.
Right. But anime style, I think they're all Japanese. But
as long as it's good, I'll take it.
I know that
And don't
they're all
forget, we
dope.
got don't forget we got the
Every
live action Cowboy Bebop coming later this month too.
I'm excited for that. Defective Sim
Yeah.
said me and my dad argued about Visions. I thought it was amazing. He wasn't impressed. Well, Defective Chimp, what it might be like that with me and my dad too, because like our parents didn't fuck with anime. So they don't get what's dope about it.
No, they
If
don't.
you fuck with anime and you understand what's dope about how they made it into a samurai or something, or how they, you can appreciate it more. I don't think that the older generation, obviously not everybody, but for the most part, I think a lot of the older generation doesn't know about anime. They didn't mess with it. Anime wasn't good until the 90s. Like
Oh.
yeah,
No. It was good in the
80s.
80s.
Yeah, it was
It was
decent
good
in
in the
the
80s.
80s.
It was decent,
It was
decent in
good
the
in
80s.
the
It
80s.
got better as
It
time
got
went on, but it
better
was
in
decent.
the 90s. It
It
was
was
decent in the
decent.
80s.
Yeah, I can name some good stuff that
Yeah, I
came out in
mean,
the 80s.
you talking about like shit like Voltron and what?
Heavy metal. Don't forget heavy metal. Heavy metal was good, bro.
Yeah.
Robotech was the bomb.
Right,
Robotech's been out
that's what I
since
was
the
trying to
80s.
think. Robotech,
Robotech's been out since
the
the
mech
80s.
shit.
That was great, man.
My
Get a
shit.
Robo. Don't forget Get a Robo.
You're about
Giant Robo.
you're like 8 years older than me too, though. You're like you was a lot older than me in the 80s. So I was born in 79. Like I was 6 years old in 85. So
Yeah, we was both born in the 70s.
true. And we
I
both,
was 13. I was 13 in 85.
see, I was 13 in like 92, 93.
I
Right?
was graduating.
So,
I was graduating high school then, bro. I was getting out of high school
but
in '92.
my shit is like Fist of the North Star, Ninja
That was dope.
Scroll,
That was super dope.
Dagger of Kamoy. Like that was my
Dope.
shit.
Dope.
I
All
mean,
that was dope, bro. All that.
yeah. But yeah, if you fuck with Star Wars and anime or one of the two, watch Visions. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Visions
Yeah.
is crazy good.
I'm gonna check it out tonight, man. After the show, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, I think and for me, like first I watched all the episodes that were like the first episode's dope. A few of them like peppered in. There's like some that seem like they're gonna be real childish, real kiddie. Because anime
Mhm.
does sometimes they'll draw their characters and stuff. Sometimes it looks like little kids or whatever. Or they'll be like little teddy bears, some shit. But even those, I went back like once I had watched all the ones that I thought were gonna be the dopest, and they were dope. But I still wanted more, so I'm like, "Fuck, I need more." So I went and watched some of the ones that I was skipping, and they were still good. So even I ended up watching every one, and I was thoroughly entertained and impressed by every episode of that. It was great. I think there's like 9 of them.
Right. It is
Yeah.
like I think it is like 9 of them, something like that.
Yeah, Visions is great. But all right, man. So before we call it a day, did you want to see what the chat knows about Wolverine?
Oh, we can do it later, man. It's getting late. Football's on.
I agree.
We
Cool.
starting to drop off a little bit.
But you have some questions, right? You have like Wolverine questions.
Oh
or
yeah,
something?
yeah. We'll do it next week.
We'll save it for next week then. All right.
Save it for next week, man. We covered a lot this week, man. We covered a lot.
We
Man.
covered a lot. We had a
went
good
over a
show.
lot this week, man. Yeah,
We
we
had
had
a
a
good
really good show. Yeah, really good show. Yeah.
All right, everybody. So we will definitely see you Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then again Saturday for DC Day. Well, man, Spadeonomics, and definitely check us out at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Coming on November 20th, Sammy from Skeleton Key. If you rock on Instagram in the comic community, you know Skeleton Key. They sell comics. It's a woman named Sammy. She's heavy into comics, and there's another girl named Nerdy Girl, and they're gonna come on and talk to us about being females in the comic book world. Because it's typically a male.
It's the male dominated genre.
Dominated genre or hobby, or medium, but they hold their own, and they hold a great position, and they definitely got a story to tell and a point of view to talk about. So we're gonna talk to them November
You
20th.
know, that's the 20th.
Yeah, Monday the 20th.
Okay, yeah, it's always great, man, when you got women that hold their own and something like that, man. You know, I play a lot of video games. I could tell you a funny story that we were playing one day, and there was a girl in the group. We were playing Call of Duty. She was giving out work, and when
Word.
guys found out she was a girl, man, they literally started leaving. Like, oh man, I'm out of here. I was like,
Damn,
what? I mean, she was racking them up. She was
damn.
going like 25 and 8, 29 and 2, stuff like that.
Word.
She was giving out work, bro. And when guys found out she was a girl, it was like,
That's
all right, I'm
crazy.
out.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
man. So it's a little tougher for them, but
Yeah.
you got to give them their props when the props is due.
Got to give them their prize when they hold their part, play their part, and hold their
Yeah,
position. So yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna talk to them about that on the 20th. And we got some things, man. We got a lot of things in the pipeline, man, coming down the way. So we got some exciting stuff happening, man. And shout out to everybody that was in the building, like you know what I'm saying, today that rocked with us. From
yeah.
Antoine Austin, JB, the Raisin Head, Cooks 24, Woken
Corey
Queen,
Adger, yeah, Woken
Angelo
Queen,
Milano,
yeah,
word,
Soprano,
everybody that
yeah,
kicked with us.
everybody.
Mario
Detective
Vale,
Chimp, yeah,
NBA
Detective
Live
Chimp.
Girl, yeah, Detective Chimp, Markalon Sigler. Word, everybody, shout out, man, to everybody that was chilling with us today, man, and kicks it with us every Monday at 6:30. We do hip hop and comics. Check us out Wednesdays at 6:30. We do indie hip hop and comics. Same vibe. It's me and Stu. We talking comics and hip hop, but we talking about the indies, the indie comics, the indie hip hop, the independent stuff that needs a light, needs to be talked about. And since we don't admittedly talk a lot about DC, we have a whole day dedicated on Saturday. We chop it up about DC comics, and we have great joints. So yeah, shout out, Antoine. Rest in peace, Alpo Martinez. Rest in peace, Rich Porter.
Rest in peace, Rich Porter, Alpo.
Rest
Yeah,
in peace, Donnell Porter, and everybody that lost their lives in the whole
this year, yeah, this year, period.
this year
They lost their lives, period. Man, it's a
in the
sad
crack
thing.
era. In the
Yeah.
crack era. All right, y'all. This was Hip Hop and Comics, y'all. Peace.